Good morning. It's early, right? The Toy Kind of Mood, episode 170 for ATKM here to talk a Joe kind of June, a JoeFest kind of June, Joe June. Think I got that right, but it's going to be an awesome episode. We'll run through the schedule, let you guys know what we're doing. It's a little wacky, different time, different day, lots of different guests. Going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm Trab Moody here for a Toy Kind of Mood, and with usual co-hosts with the most, Tony's Figs.
Tony's Figs in the house. What's up, baby? We here live. We're live, not recorded. We're live here.
Okay,
I see the chat going.
As opposed to and Baldy Locks.
Baldy.
Yo, neighbors. What's going on, guys?
I let you say it this time. You do it so much better
Baldy's
than me.
Neighbor.
Man, before anything, we just say hi to people for showing up on a different time and day. Different toy time, different toy and day. Stanley, I think he was here like last week. And he said, explain and convince Ramen Toy to make a cold slither colorway tour van bread car with instruments, accessories, and loadouts. Dude, we have Ramen Toy news. We have good Ramen Toy news. I'll bring this up maybe with Ken that we're gonna have from Toy Kennections. We'll save this. I'll save this one.
And Stanley, I've never met Ace, but that will be my opener.
This will be your opener. Just go up to Ace and go, explain and convince Ramen Toy.
That's what I'm gonna do. Stanley, it's all your fault if I get punched.
Yeah, no, Stanley told me to ask you.
It's awesome. We got Evan Foster. What's up, man? Ed Schumacher is a good buddy of mine and a great dude. Yeah, I've had phone conversations with him. He's an amazing guy, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll have him on in a little bit, as well as Carson, man. We're gonna be with G.I.JOE royalty, Carson Mataxis from 3DJoes, and our friend Toy Kennections. So he'll be here talking Delta 17, Operation Recall, JoeFest. And before that, we're talking Hasbro stuff. So if you want to talk Joe June with us, we'll talk about that in a minute. Is this pre-recorded or live? It's both. All right, what's up, everybody? Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's right. Big time. And DJ 5 Ash. I think DJ, you said you're going to be at the panel, right? We're going to talk about that panel later on at the JoeFest June. Look what I'm wearing, boys. I got the official shirt.
Nice.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Where's mine at?
Where's your I got them. He had to ship them all to me to,
nice.
Save a few bucks.
Nice.
We got the green one. This is the one.
Sweeney.
Yeah, they're sick. We actually have a couple extra shirts for Ken. He's like, I'm not a size large. I'm like, well, come eat and drink with us. You'll be a size large by the time we have the panel. Let's see what we got. Let's we got to talk about Slickalicious G.I.JOE. Look at that. That's cool. Something that's a sneak peek for another shirt.
Uh-oh.
Show it again.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Christmas can't come soon enough with the red and green there. And then we got more Techno Viper love. Look at that. Must be a Techno shirt.
Nice.
Raven. And then we got another one. Oh, yeah. And then we got an Iron Grenadier shirt. You saw the jersey on the show, I'm sure, if you're watching. But cool. All right, let's say hi to a few more peeps, and then we'll get going. All right. Salinas, what's up? I'll just say Salinas from now on. It's easier that way.
It's not Rachel.
I'm not saying that's mean. Jason S. Here we go. Yeah, what's up? The one guy I knew who supported me when I was on ACBA. I didn't know anybody in the chat except you. I appreciate that. The Real Zim. Hey, guys. Everybody. 17. Oh, nice new names here. 17.2 Nate. I love that. What's up, Justin? Nice gizat. Got the Desert Eeks. All right, Frank. Yeet. All right, we got to move on though. I'm gonna say hi to. I missed out on last night's stream until I realized I didn't. Yeah, we all missed it last night.
Yeah, we overslept.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. I was too busy celebrating. The Celtics go up 3-0, baby. Yo, Joe. I want my stinger now. This I command. We all do. Jody says, yo, chat, what up, guys? Glad I was there, but what was between tattoos so I can catch you guys. All right, cool.
Nice.
Checking in from the tattoo parlor.
Fresh ink. That's nice.
Get that ink.
One benefit though of going early is some people who only get to watch a replay get to watch us today because we're not
Yeah,
going
you do.
late. So that's nice. Edmund says, "Sweet, Carson may be staying with me for Comic-Con. Him and Ken are great guys. Yeah, we have some pretty good guests. We're real lucky. And look who's here, Airborne Customs. Oh yeah, look at the best profile picture ever on YouTube.
What up, Darren?
Eben, if you can get me into SDCC, let me know, buddy.
Speaking of Yojo June, said, how'd you like the subtle call out to me from Lenny while talking about Crazy Legs? I don't know if I remember. Did you guys catch that?
I did.
It's awesome.
What was it?
I can't remember. I gotta watch it.
I watched it twice and missed it. Sorry.
It's about the jumpers and the paratroopers because of Darren Marshall's. He knows all about them.
Nice.
Leanne is here. So we're getting people we got Leanne, I think Ray Murphy said he was going to check in. So we got our overseas folks that are
what's up, girl?
early for a change. Yeah.
Huge fan of that photography.
Yes.
We are just over a week away from JoeFest, and this is a guy I want to hang out with. I hung out with him at a convention earlier, and great time. Yeah, finally a Central Time friendly show. I know you guys are going to make us start doing Thursdays from now on, but no, I like our Wednesday night time slot. All right, let's get right into it, boys. We got the big time Nemesis Immortal. I'll go with you, Baldy. Just you shared these as well. Your first take on this.
You guys know I'm not a huge Cobra La fan. That's where it jumped the shark for me. But I mean, Serpentor, Cobra La, when we were kids, the playability was unbelievable. I had a lot of fun with them. I just thought they were kind of like jump the shark characters. I'm excited for this. This looks fun. It looks like he's going to be huge. Not a fan of the leaks, but they're coming, so we might as well enjoy them.
Tony, any take on this early factory shiznit?
I mean, it's cool for some, but I don't like them showing them like this. It looks like my desk, It looks like all the pieces. I don't want to see it like this. Wow, you're going to show Nemesis Immortal Enforcer, whatever. I mean, I can't stand Cobra La. I was out of G.I.JOE when that came out. I'm a little older, but Serpentor, I was like, okay. In the comic, it was cool, But for those who like it, it's something. It's I'm happy for you guys, but I could do without all of Cobra La. Being honest.
Do you think that Skybound is kind of redeeming them right now since we got that Skybound picture?
Oh yeah, great question.
All the artwork and all their story is pretty cool. But I don't know. I haven't gotten any yet. I've got to pick some up.
Oh man, I actually like the way they're handling Cobra La, so I may become a fan.
I will check them out. I will check it out.
And I don't know if we have time for this, but what do you guys think the green tentacles are? How did you play with those as a kid? Because I'm going to tell you what I did.
I don't know what the hell those are, so you better ask Travis.
I'll tell you what they are, and then I'll let Baldy tell us what he did as a kid. I'm a little nervous about that.
No.
But look, they're bio tentacle backpack. And it and it gives them that like that venom power, right? Am I wrong about that or what?
You mean like Bane?
Like Bane? Yeah. So tell me what you did. Tell the audience what you did.
No, to me, I used them as they were a harness to capture the JIJoes. I don't think it was ever meant for Nemesis Enforcer. I think it was meant to put on the JIJoes and they would be caught up in the tentacles. That's the way I used them.
Yeah, Stanley was saying it's not a face hugger like Alien.
Yeah, like a back hugger. Like you put it in, it holds their arms down, it pins them down. So that's the way I used it. Because when I was a kid,
so they won't get away from the back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I used them with imagination, so I never used it with Nemesis Enforcer. I used it on the JIJoes.
Yeah, everybody's been asking about this thing, but yeah, it's a biotentacle. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this one comment. This beautiful comment. Not that one. Where'd it go? This one. Everything Baldy just said is correct. Damn right.
You got a fan here. He's on your nuts already.
You've got a friend in me. All right, let's get out of here. Let's move on. We got some other stuff to talk about before we bring our guests in. So JoeJoe June, they had another week, and we thought it was going to be a week, right? With just this, which was cool. We talked about this last week, and Tony, you talked about this on Genghis Live last week too, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
okay, so we don't have to go into it to death, but I'll ask you guys, how many a Stalker did you pre-order? These are new images, by the way.
I got one, of course. That's card art Stalker. Beautiful. And all you got to do if you want to, make them OG, just give him the green beret he already comes with in the regular release. This one is just faithful to the card art. Hector Garrido. He had him in the camouflage beret. Pretty badass to me, anyway.
Now, is it just me? Is it just me, or does his face look a little different here? I know, like, there's still seems like some gray in the mustache, but from these images, it does look a little different than the other one. But I think that was the biggest complaint, other than, all right, so his cap was green on the toy instead of the art, but the fact that they didn't make a younger looking Stalker, do we think we have the same one? Let's see. Oh, no, it's the same one, I think.
It's
right?
the same one.
It's the same.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap the heads
Would
anyway.
you prefer a younger, or obviously, right, over a repaint? I
think that would have been a neat move if they gave him a little bit of Botox and got rid of some of those lines. They did it with Captain America. I think we touched on this before. They used the same sculpt, but they kind of slimmed down his face for that Hydra version. No, I think that they could have done that.
This comment, Baldy.
Sorry, Baldy.
I don't wear underwear. Yeah.
Even better response. All right, I think we're good on Stalker. We all got one. I'm eventually gonna get. I pre-ordered one from every site, but I'll eventually. I think this guy will be hanging around Target, and there'll be a deal where I can get a nice mint one for the wall. But I don't think I'm in any rush to get a couple of these right away. But so the funny thing about these guys, Cobra Commander, is no vac metal on these images, but then the splash images had it. So.
Right.
But we're getting vac metal. I mean, we saw it in the panel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're getting.
Perfect Sunbow Commander.
Yeah.
And
maybe these images, Tony, were made before they decided to throw the vac metal on. Maybe.
I think so. And then they gave us a little. Yeah. Check it out. He's gonna be vac metal, just for the stream and stuff. And that was excellent. It's dope. I love the white belt.
Well, you know when they made the decision to go vac metal, right? They made that decision during the Toy Kind of Mood.
I thought you were gonna say once you go vac, you never go back.
That's what I thought he was gonna say.
No, you trump what I was gonna say.
Oh no, go ahead. But continue.
They were looking at mine and Tony's bald, shiny heads and specs, and they said, "You know what? Let's get this guy shiny."
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great stuff. All right, so we all got
Baldy's.
Cobra. Yeah. What was that?
The rest Baldy's, and then not Rachel saying, "Where's the hood?"
So we all got. Where's the hood? We all got a Cobra Commander or two. But did we build these? How many army builders did you guys get? You guys go nuts or what? 2?
I went with 4.
4, okay. Yeah, it's kind of tricky because I think I ordered 2 from Amazon, 2 from Pulse, and 1 from the other sites just in case they got them first.
Yeah, super kit bash figure, and I'm not mad at it. This is what it was supposed to be, and retro, and it's cool, man. I mean, hey, this is what it used to look like. A lot of people don't like the gray parts, but I'm fine with them. Paint them black.
I love it.
I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I think it pops. And then we got in-hand looks overseas, of course. And then, but this was the big picture right here, was the comparison of. So does this please you? Any of you can go.
I'm pleasured. I'm pleasured with this.
He's rock
Pleasure.
solid with it.
I have a ton. I already have a ton of the Cobra Island. I have a ton of the infantry. So to me, just to kind of, somebody made a good call on Facebook saying this could be like the new recruits, and they're not completely broken in yet. So
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. It makes
let's
sense.
just go with. I'm fine with 4. They'll look good mixed in.
We have a question here. I think it's concerning Coco. Right here, I noticed the change on the helmet on the card art. Was that the same as the HasLab version?
Was it?
What he's asking.
Oh,
I don't really
No.
understand this question. Okay, let me go to you,
Thank
Paul.
you, Baldy. I threw my shit away.
Well, I think we could do this. Here we go. Compare it.
With the hooded guy in there from IBMMT.
Oh,
Nice.
hilarious! Hilarious. All right, cool. All right, let's get back to we got a lot to cover. We got guys coming, so we got to fly out of here. But I think we're good on these. Yeah.
Just
We're
answering
good on this
Airborne
stuff.
Customs question. Where's the Dragonov? It's over here in Arizona with Gridiron. He wanted the Dragonov sniper rifle with that new trooper.
We got a lot of comments about what people bought. 3 of the trooper, 3 Coco, and 2 Stalker. I always grab at least 2. Yeah, that's the thing. I always want an extra one with the card, but when it came to Stalker, I think he's going to be hanging around a little more because he was hanging around in his classified look. But the other 2 might be hard to get, from the big box retailer. So I think I definitely wanted to get extras of the 2 Cobra characters there. So, all right, moving on to the big news, and it's the Dragonfly unboxing. I didn't see this coming this week. I thought maybe next week or the week after, or the week. I thought the last week would be about the Rattler, if that's the HasLab. So maybe this makes sense, right? Baldy, I'll talk to you first for a sec. I think it makes sense to talk about the other HasLab and give it 2 weeks before back-to-back HasLabs, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the Cantina.
Oh no, I'm talking about the fact that they showcased this Dragonfly, but they're still going to announce another HasLab.
Yes.
Oh, but no, wait, that's actually going to be at Comic-Con now. Duh.
Right.
Man, that's right. So it doesn't matter. So it's like they have 2 weeks left. Do you think they'll show like digital renders of other things or what?
I don't think we're going to know anything about the new HasLab until SDCC. So
but I meant, do you think we'll get digital renders of other name onlys and stuff for the because we still got 2 weeks left. And there's 1 pre-order week left, right? Or there's still 2. There's the Cobra Stinger with Mad Marauder stuff.
Yes.
And then but the last week of June we don't have any pre-orders, do we? The Stinger is part of that 3rd week. I don't know. I didn't put that in the notes, but I think so. Anyway, let's move on. Let's take a look at this. This is the box art. You guys digging this? Matches the His Tank box art, monochromatic.
Very nice. Very nice. Very sexy.
It is effing sexy. So I like that they went with the monochrome artwork, and it kind of mirrors the Cobra Hiss, but at the same time, it's in brighter colors. So this is the heroes, right? They're coming in to save the day. I love it.
I think we had Ray Murphy checked in. There we go. We've had him on our very last Terradrome on a Toy Kind of Mood, because now, Tony, a Terradrome is going to be on Black Angus. You guys made that announcement last week. You want to just talk about that for 1 minute?
Yeah, Terradrome started on Toy Kind of Mood with me, Travis, KJ Sweeney, and Fixer. And now we're going to be showcasing it on Black Angus's KJ's channel. I'll be hosting with him as much as I can, talking about Joe Customs, Joe Photography, talking to, keeping my, head into the groups and getting all the awesome customizers to be a part of it.
Nice.
Thank you, Darren. Yep, there's nothing slated for 6/25. So that's why in the back of my mind, I was like, they're going to talk about the HasLab. I was like, no. They already said Comic-Con. So I appreciate that. They'll announce Snake Eyes 2 the last week, the Snake Eyes 2 movie. That's probably not going to happen. But yeah, it could be media focused with the, the games and movies. That's not a bad guess. Next week's pre-orders are going to be a shit show. Too many exclusives to spread out. I think the main exclusive is the Marauders 2-pack on Pulse. The rest are like Famazon though, or Fan Channel. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's no Target or Walmart. There's going to be Target or Walmart Collector Con like Night Force and all that stuff. But anyway, let's get back to the Dragonfly. We got let's see, we got about a half an hour left to talk about the Dragonfly and some of these figures. So I want to get into this, but that's the back of the art and back of the box art, and man, it's gorgeous.
I wish they would do a shout out to the artist that does this work. I mean, because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know if they did. Yeah, okay. Oh, good call. Good call. BMAX said they'll do a video of the Cobra Stinger and something small about the lights, but that'll probably be next week because the Stinger's up for pre-order next week. So that's my guess is so that'll be next week. We'll get the video of the Stinger, the social media thing about the lights on the Dragonfly, which was in my notes. So I appreciate that. You took care of that. And then, because they didn't have batteries. They don't have batteries. So they'll be showing off the night lights on the Dragonfly on social media. But yeah, I think that'll be coming up. I'm pretty sure the next week or so. Moving on, that's just kind of a out of the package. There you go, Oliver Barrett.
Yep, I follow him. He did most of the.
Darren, that's awesome.
Yeah, he did most of the artwork so far on the latter part of the box, the windowless packaging. So it looks like they're going to stick with him. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and man, we got to start going early from now on, so we got Darren in our pocket. If it's not Darren, it's Ryan Daly. One of these guys always saving the day. Jody asks, since they did an unboxing already, I think we just answered that with the Stinger for next week. But yeah, you're right about that very last week. It's interesting. I'm gonna say they'll do a couple name only or digital renders. Like they'll just do like a quick one of those 8-minute videos, not an hour long or anything, just not a fan stream, but just something.
I think they'll give
short.
us something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll just show up at JoeFest and invade the panel that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's no longer unofficial. All right, cool. So moving on, that's kind of what it looks like without all the fixins. It's old school Airwolf style. So man, this is 34 inches long, the chopper.
That's what she said.
Ouch.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, if you're just tuning in, we had 70 people already in the first 20 minutes. Do we have to just change our time?
Change our time.
to 3 p.m. from now on? No, that's not going to happen, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, my schedule is wonky, so.
Yeah.
If
we could keep it somewhere at 69 for a few minutes, that would make for a great screen grab.
Got it. All right, cool. And then there's a look from the kind of like an angle look there, and a cool look at Lenny's guns with the tats. That's what this is all about, baby. Right there, getting a shot at the pumping some iron right there. All right, cool. So we got that, and then we got the engine stuff going on. So I like all the colors. He was crediting Mark. Is that Mark the crazy guy from Transformers? You guys aren't with me on that, huh? Maybe Spec would know.
Spec would know. He's in the chat.
Yeah. But yeah, and then they also, I don't think I have pictures of it, but they were showing the shark teeth and the chips and salsa sticker sheet, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And we got more looks of inside. And then blast effects. One of the keys here is that the dog bone pin on the giant blast effect fits for missiles there. So that's very key. That's going to keep
that was great that they did that.
Yeah. It's been pretty wonky in the past, right?
Yep.
Right. And then there's a final look. So give us your thoughts. I'll go with you, Tony. What's your thoughts on this? I don't think you said you didn't back it, right?
Right, but I think I'm getting it from somewhere else. But yeah, cross my fingers. But it's awesome. I mean, as soon as everything is legit, and then I saw the dog bone on the jet flash, the stream, and that sets it off really nice, man. It's cool. I hope with my luck, I got the hiss from DJ 5-Ash. He was cool enough to let me get one of his, and I know Mark's gonna get like 4 of them, 5 of them from Gridiron, so maybe I could score one that way.
Hell yeah.
Imagine.
Let's go to some comments. I wonder if that big blast effects could work on the HMS. Interesting. Can't see why it wouldn't. They usually like to future-proof stuff, right, Baldy? They always talk about future-proofing and making sure everything is connected.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure that, I mean, reuse, right? They're trying to make sure that we can reuse it. They're very aware of the people that do customs and photography, so they're trying to make it very friendly for the collector community.
I see some Wild Bill comments. I'm saving that for a few minutes. We're gonna get into the figures in a few minutes. We have a question here. Question to all of you. The steel core figs will be part of the sub team to the Dragonfly, like the 788 fire team with his tank. Oh, will they be, or will it be something completely different?
Yeah.
Will they? I mean, I think so because they leaked out those gold faced ones with the green outfits, right, Baldy? Did you see those?
Exactly. Yeah, they know what they're
think,
doing with their marketing and with the Easter eggs. So, Eben, I think you nailed it. I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening with those gold ones.
17 Desi says it looks like the same plug, but no, I think Lenny pointed it out that this was something new. I mean, I don't have it with me. Do you have that thing next? Anybody have that handy? The big ass blast effect? No.
From where?
From the hiss. From the hiss or from the HMS?
The blast effect? No.
Tony done fucked up not backing.
I have this one for some reason. I have no idea why it's sitting on my desk.
You know what that's from? It's from scrap iron.
No, I know it's from scrap iron.
It is.
I'm just saying,
it is.
I don't know why it's sitting here.
Mine's thrown in the bin.
I'm looking at my HMS, and barring a difference in dog bone length, they are directional. So I'm thinking they are going to work. There you go.
Ooh, cool. DWH's comment's pretty cool.
I'm going to go to that right now in one sec because we got the Goalhead Steel Core Commander was originally tier 3 unlock. Okay. There you go. Who goes in the gunner seat in your Dragonfly? For me, it will be Airborne. And we're not talking about this guy. We're talking about Airborne, the guy we let. I'm just kidding, Darren. I'll have Wolf Spider rappelling off the skids. What are you guys going to do with the Dragonfly? Who's going in it?
If I get it, I'm gonna do what David's doing, but
oh yeah,
I don't know.
I think
you
most
can
of
put
us
a bunch of different, Glenda and all that stuff, but that'll be my go-to. What he just said, even with Wolf Spider.
Yeah, I think most people will do Airborne because he was his name was on the original, wasn't it?
Yeah, Franklin E. Talltree.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here! Big time classified reviewing celebrity. He says it's 8:30 in the morning. I'm still in bed watching the Toy kind of mood, and this is different. So that's cool.
Look at Sherlock. Absolutely Airborne in the gunner. Glenda's getting sold.
All right, Sherlock, please reach out to me.
I know
whoever doesn't want their Glenda, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll take it.
Look at this. That's okay, Trav. I'd rather jump from the aircraft. That's my guy right there. Airborne's my choice, but I could Gridiron Lois. This is gonna be tough. This is gorgeous, guys. I love it on this flight stand. And then they said you could put one of those 2 stickers, and one of them was a zombie Wild Bill. I don't have images of it right here, but yeah, it's cool.
Would that go on the base then? That thing they were talking about?
On the base. Yeah, instead of just that green circle, you'll have it on the base. That's gonna look amazing.
It's crazy. It's got like a zombie Wild Bill on a Dragonfly.
Yeah, it's
sick.
They got creative for sure.
Yeah.
Sherlock, got you, Baldy, with the Glenda.
Oh, nice. Yep. Send me a message.
I think what makes these two, and BMAC was fun. I mean, he's doing a good job. He this was more of a Lenny show showing this off, but he's there. He had some good one-liners and he had some good info and stuff. He's doing a good job. But the reason these guys are so much fun is they're just kids playing with toys compared to some of the other more corporate, Disney-fied stuff that we get from Hasbro. Not necessarily Marvel Legends. They kind of like to have fun too, but man, these guys were just clowning, joking, making mistakes. It was fun just watching them. I know, Baldy, you failed and didn't watch it. But we got you here for JoeFest anyway. But
well, listen, I'll be honest with everybody. Just like a lot of people say, a lot of our viewers say, it's hard to watch everything. So
Oh yeah.
I think I got the alert. I sent it to you guys. You guys didn't even know that it dropped, and I was in the middle of a project at work, so I was able to skim through it, and then I never got around to watching it from beginning to end. But I did get to see large chunks of it.
Baldy, it looks like everyone's scalping their Dragonfly figures to you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, what am I, chopped liver? I can't get any love.
Well, you know what, Tony? You and I will work together on that. I can be the contact person.
Oh, Sherlock hooked it up. Whoever.
I like this comment from Bryce. What's happening, Bryce? He says, "Would it be sacrilege if I turned the Dragonfly into a Cobra vehicle?"
No, I would love it. Nope. Bryce, I'm waiting for that. Go for it.
Yeah, do it.
Bryce, you know why? Because it's your toy. Do whatever the frig you want to it.
Bryce is going to do a gun bunny to it. Hell yeah.
I'm with Spec on this. You know, because without having two Dragonflies, I don't want to mess with the one they made. But it's nice to have the stickers just to like look at, I guess, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You might use them.
I'm sorry, I didn't put my, you know, all the stickers that come with the hiss. They're still sitting there.
Exactly.
Did anybody mess with the stickers on the? Did you put extra crazy stickers on your hiss tank? I did not. Nope. That's for anybody.
No, I was gonna ask Baldy that too. What's up, fellas? I got here. Yo, Joe, nerd alert. What's happening?
What up, nerd?
What else we got? Flint can go on the chopper. His secondary specialty is helicopter pilot. I like that. Maybe a Night Force Flint. Give me a Night Force Flint now.
Yeah.
Hey, look who's in the comments, but we'll be here in about an hour. We got Toy Kennections.
Ignores Travis. What a dick.
Who's worse, Larry or Ken?
Larry.
Yeah, Larry takes the cake. Speaking of Larry, we'll promote it later, but
speaking of Larry,
Black Genghis will be on the Punk with Toys when we're done. So you got 5 hours of fun tonight. I'll be tuning in with dinner. But I like what they did with the packaging, guys. Like they both connect the back and the sides, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I think they nailed this. I think this is fan service to all those collectors that keep them boxed and show the numbers. Do you know what I mean? They finally have artwork where they can truly display it. And not just numbers. So I think that was some fan service. It took them a while to get there, but they did it.
It reminds me of like books or like movies, sequels in a row.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha on that.
It's funny you say that. Can you go to the last slide where it's the characters? So the way they did this, it feels like a summer movie. You know what I mean? They've got the background connected. They've got the solo, the character shots. It feels like we're getting a G.I. Joe movie. Isn't that what it feels like?
Oh, that's a great call. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's sweet. Nice. Well, let's get into the figures. Everybody reported on this. We missed our surveillance port and our What's on Joe Mind pictures because they also reported on this at the same. We all did it at the same time.
Yeah,
like right at the same nut. Like even the millisecond was exactly the same. You get credit. You get credit. You get credit. Right, Baldy? Talk about this fun image you did. It kind of shook the Joe community a little.
Yeah, so I got a lot of messages on this one. A lot of more love than hate, but I did get a lot of hate mail too. Listen, we're in a community. YouTube is a big backyard, and we're all playing with our G.I. Joes. So you're gonna have those kids that want to be off to themselves in the sandbox or maybe on an island, and they just want to say they do everything first. But we're all trying to play together, so let's just have some fun.
Oh, we did have to add one more watermark right here. You ready?
Go for it.
There it is. Chaz the Guru, the most important of them all. We just added another watermark among
all
the 70
lame,
watermarks.
all lame ass logos. They're all lame because you're on there with Viper Island.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised there's no Diaper Island picture. That would have been fun. we go. Do I see a perpendicular peninsula? Shout out. Is that you? That's what we're wondering who that is.
Dude, I
Probably
love
you,
that
man.
people picked up on the subtlety of that. He's the only logo that I made crooked.
Speaking of Chaz, we got a meme. We do it every week. We always try to profile a meme or six. There's some stuff going around about this. I'll go to Tony first about this face sculpt. You know, the digital renders. We always tell people wait till you get it in hand, or at least till Lenny gets it in hand, or Emily, or Tony. Right? Listen, I mean, I don't hate her look. I think it's pretty good when you get it in HD. And I know Chaz sent me another picture. He's like, "Oh, I got a better picture," but you know, I don't know. I mean, yeah, the original, is she a little prettier? It's a different angle, yeah, sure, but it was also artwork that someone made. It's not the actual production.
No.
But Tony, do you
No.
hate this, or do you think
Yes.
she's yeah, you
That's
don't like it,
catfish.
huh?
That's a catfish. Don't you call that catfish?
Oh man,
She's a
bad?
straight.
I don't think it's that
She's a
bad.
Karen. She looks like they made her look like a Karen that's just pissed off at life. You know, she ain't got any sleep. And I'm going in on her. It's just a figure. It's just a toy. But I mean, when you ask me this question, Travis, you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to swap it out and make another face for her.
Yeah,
You know,
go.
it looks like Scarlett's beat up sister, or
Oh my
Scarlett's
goodness.
drugged out sister. Look at the one on the right, man. Come on now.
It's still a
Looks like-
production figure,
She looks
so
like, I gotta go in a helicopter again. Wild Bill farts too much.
it's still a
Oh.
production figure, so it, you know, our final product may change. I am not making any excuses here. I think there's probably a lot of fans that used to watch on TLC Kate Plus 8.
Nerd
So,
Alert
like,
says at least she has a helmet.
So, but look, she at least looks better than that on the right. She looks
Of
better than the
course.
original. I mean,
Of course.
of course, but man, look at that sculpt on the right. Looks like Luna Vachon's mom.
dude,
That's a
42 years later, with the aid of 3D sculpting, she better look better.
Some back metal too on her.
breaking
There's a
news. So,
I go for the
Look,
one in the
she's got-
middle.
yeah, she's got helmet and shades. You can completely hide that face.
like
if you need
Paulie,
to.
like Paulie told Rocky, go for the
Yeah.
one in the middle.
You know what? I don't think she looks that bad, bro.
She's
The
not
one on
that
the
bad.
right
I'm
is-
really overdoing it, but
yeah.
I'm just so detailed with my customizing all that bullshit.
Yeah, I think
just-
Chaz needs to follow up and do the same thing with Falcon.
Yeah, she ain't as bad as Falcon, I don't think, but she looks.
Yeah.
No,
She does
Falcon
look
is
rode hard and put
is
away.
awful.
I don't know, guys. I'm all right with it. I think she's pretty badass. I mean, the great
Oh.
thing about all these figures, though, all four of them, is we
Yeah,
each
it's not
get three
terrible.
looks. We get 3 looks with each figure,
Joe
and
Fan
3
84.
plus looks. 3 plus looks. You
Yeah.
got like headsets,
Just a figure.
helmets, visors. There's even like 5 or
fix
6 looks in some of the other ones. All right, next one.
who's up?
Crazy legs. He looks cool. He looks like
Tony.
he passes. Something wants me to paint that quilted look red, but I know it's coming. The regular one's coming, but it's Night Force is dope. You know, he's a paratrooper too. He's a parachute rigger. Cool hat. Airborne Customs, Darren Marshall, you're the shit. But yeah, he looks cool. They all
Yeah.
don't have to be Brad Pitt. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We're dissing Glenda.
I know that's what I was gonna say
Well,
too.
But it's okay for this guy to be a schmuck that stocks off at freaking Kmart and there's no more Kmarts. This guy's not good looking either. Come on.
No, but Glenda looks like she's beat down and tired. He just looks like, you know, an ordinary dude. You know, I mean, whatever. He's not.
Yeah.
You know, he's not on the cover of any magazine. Neither is that Glenda being tired as shit. You know, she needs some Red Bull or something.
That's who Glenda's yelling at to get her coffee right.
Exactly.
Jim Carrey done. No, it's not.
Glenda happens to be an Irish Argentine. Yeah, they were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy mix. That's why she looks the way she looks. Look, I don't think it's that bad. And then
Head
It's
sculpt
not.
looks decent, but pretty young. I think
Yeah,
it's
he's a young
referring to,
dude.
yeah. Yeah, he does look like a young dude.
Like
Crazy
24.
Legs would be a young guy, yeah.
He's
So,
a young buck. He looks good.
yeah, he's a young buck. So there's a close up look, and yeah, it's not a terrible sculpt at all. It's got a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow goatee style,
I
and
mean, to tell the truth, he
yeah.
looks really good with his helmet and goggles on. He looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the grenades there. That's pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right there on the left on the web gear, and then you get the backpack on the left. But I mean, Night Force Crazy Legs, and then also the folding stock on the SMG.
Oh, I'm digging it. I was waiting for that. I'm like, who are you taking your cues here from, Lenny?
Yeah.
I'll put it.
Mark from Marky Mark.
Yeah. That's dope, man. It's dope.
And can we all have a shot every time Lenny says tact?
Oh God.
We would be drunk within 20 minutes.
Go ahead, say it
There
again.
you go.
Say it again.
Bro, I like how this looks with all the tacked up gear.
Tack.
Yeah, it's the
We love Lenny, by the
true,
way. That's
right.
a joke. I'm sure you get it.
But this is my favorite.
Ooh,
This is
that's
my favorite.
Same here.
Is your favorite too, Tony?
You made one. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
You made two.
I did.
You made Night Force and regular, right?
No, I just made a regular one. I didn't make a Night
okay.
Force one. I made the regular one, and this one, oh my gosh, if Darren had a lot of input here, you could see it. It's just on Crazy Legs. Yeah, the red is the static lines. He doesn't free fall jump. He jumps out with a static line attached to the cord and pulls his chute.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the mushroom looking parachute, and Ripcord's the Halo jumper. So, but they made him. I mean, that's cool. I mean, even if you want to put the goggles away, you want to leave them on them, take them off them. And what's cool here, they finally did the visor that can go up and down. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah,
not even Mark's done that.
I'm getting out my original ripcord.
We should announce this. Send all super chats to Airborne Customs for that help today.
Yeah, exactly. He's the man.
All right, what are we showing here, Baldy? You got out the OG?
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to fixing his band, but I got him.
The O-ring, baby.
O-ring, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how long before we get the retro card or the camo version in the classified line?
I know, but here's that one.
I'm surprised Gridiron hasn't done parachutes yet.
Not yet. Or the one with the visor going up and down. There's their pack. Darren had a lot of input on that, I think, too.
Very nice.
Yeah, with that one, you can up down goggles. I'm digging the altimeter on his left wrist. That's an awesome touch.
Yeah, it's a great touch. Have any of you guys skydive before?
No, my father's a jump master.
Okay.
He's got over like 1,000 jumps as a skydiver. So
I've got a few under my belt.
Nice.
So
take a look at that. We got we got Glenda's harness on the left.
That's cool. Yeah, they never put it on anybody. Yeah. That's pretty
fits
cool.
Both male and female characters, and then there's like a zip tie strap to set over the waist, and they said it does fit like the Roadblock buck.
Yep.
So probably not a Serpentor or Nemesis Immortal or anything ridiculous, but all the Joes should work with.
Yeah. Well, they don't need parachutes, Serpentor and Nemesis Immortal.
Freaking fly. But I'm just saying. Yeah. And then you got the sack there on the right, parachute sack. So on the right for ripcord.
Dan, look at how he's handling his sack there. He's really got a good grip on his sack there.
Yeah.
You just had to.
Travis said parachute sack.
Why you guys so early? Well, because we didn't want to hurt any feelings. No, I'm just kidding. No. We all could make it. Why not? We all could make it.
We have all kind of crazy schedules there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Selfishly, I wanted to watch the NBA finals. My team's in it. But then I realized like 2 out of 3 of our guests are on the East Coast. I'm like, they're going to enjoy coming on much earlier than like 11 o'clock
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
I want some energetic guests and I want to take care of my JoeFest people because they're taking care of us.
Yes.
So, yeah. What's up, neighbors?
Yo.
Yep. Pack or pack tray. That's right, Darren.
We need a parachute in motion. That could be another thing they showcase this month of JoeJoe June. The last week is the parachute thing. Maybe Emily will throw one off the building again down in Pawtucket. All right, cool. So we're good with Ripcord, and then we got Wild Bill. We saw a lot of Wild Bill already, but these are the 3 different looks of old Wyatt Earp.
Very, very, very nice.
Beautifully done.
I'll put him up against my custom, but hey, he looks really good.
All right, we got a question from our friend Ray. Are we getting some Sky Patrol? Plenty of room for a big silver parachute in that pack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that'd be insane.
I think they pretty much told us that a parachute is coming. So, I mean, they all but showed it to us.
Yo. Oh yeah, that's nice.
My little rendition.
Now, what color is your hat?
It's blue.
It's blue. So, what does the HasLab Wild Bill have on? Is that an indigo blue or is that purple?
Indigo.
I don't even know. Some kind of. It looks like a purplish blue.
Like a lavenderish.
My dark ass navy blue.
I got messages on that asking me why is his hat purple? And if you guys remember, when his original file card, he was part of the Revolution with Prince and the Revolution. So
whatever.
A lot of people don't know that. He's the reason the doves cry.
Thanks, Aaron.
I do gotta say, it seems like I saw this a lot yesterday. That Bill was the best of the 4. I think we all went with Ripcord, but wait, Baldy, you're shaking your head. You're going with Bill over Ripcord?
Oh, I think they nailed Bill. They nailed the Kurt Russell look. I think this was my favorite from the beginning. It was my favorite last year when they announced the HasLab. So I think they did a really nice job. That back in the 80s, they really did kind of like bring in likenesses of either Hasbro employees or some celebrities without getting the licensing. I feel like they're kind of doing that here. That's Kurt Russell, baby. That is Kurt freaking Russell. And he looks great.
That is Wyatt freaking Earp.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks really good. He looks really good, Wild Bill. That looks awesome.
It really, really does.
He's a badass in the Skybound new comics, I heard.
For sure. All right.
Screen time, whatever.
Nice. All right. So that wraps up JoeJoe June. We got one little section we're going to do for the next few minutes, and then we'll bring on our first guest. And it's Fresh Monkey Fiction. So we talked about this at the end of our show last week, and now they're unlocked. So you can buy these 2 from Big Bad Toy Store, exclusives. We're finally getting the hooded Cobra Commander, Baldy.
Finally. Listen, this is fan service right here. They know what they're doing. They've even got they've got a character that looks like what the original GI.JOE with the beard, right?
Oh, yeah, they do. For the general
Monster Force. Yeah,
for the general guy, yeah,
absolutely. So I'm excited. At first, I wasn't sure about the price point, but then when I realized how much stuff you're actually getting, it's not a bad price. So I'm all in.
Are they doing 4-inch too?
I thought I did read that somewhere, but I've only seen the 6-inch.
Yeah.
So
I think Chad showed his.
Do you mean for Operation Monster Force or for their other? They have other.
The Crimson Moon ones. I think I seen Chad post them. He got his today. They're like 4-inch Crimson Moon figs. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just saw.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Jason S has 4-inch too. Yeah, in the chat.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, good. I
I didn't know about that. So
Me
there you
neither.
go.
I didn't. I just saw. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
What's this?
I could swear I read something about that in the last few days, but I wasn't sure.
Cool. And then they also announced, so you can go. These were the 2 stretch goals. You still got to purchase them. It's not like a Kickstarter where your stretch goals are like free or anything like that. Yeah, Leanne says as a Brit, I'm so excited to see these new Action Force inspired figures. Yep. So it's like the Palatoy stuff, you know, mashed up, kit bashing, 4-inch fresh monkey in stock on BBTS. There you go.
Nice.
They did some
Okay.
stuff. So the funny thing is you got on the right, you got the Noir Elite Guard, and on the left, you got the Order of the Crimson Moon. Order of the Crimson Moon. That's the name. That's literally the name.
Yeah.
Of it. So I thought that was funny. But they showed us some exclusives. And guys, it's going to be a race to the hotel room between Larry and I to see who can get our sweaty mittens on the keyboard first, and with the webcam it's going to be funny to see. And we all know who's going to win that battle. Who is it?
Me, because I'll be at the bar with Baldy like this.
No, say that again, Baldy.
I said it's going to be B's Battleground, and he's not even going to be there.
He's not even at the convention, but he's at the Chinese factory, so he'll get it first. But these are cool. What do you think of like this translucent, like bloody? You know, we get the Blood Prince Dracula. Does this do it for you, or is it too much like translucent stuff? Or are you interested?
I'll tell you honestly, I think it's dumb as F, and I freaking love it. You know what I mean?
Way to be passive aggressive there, Baldy.
No, I just think it's kind of like there's no need for it, but when you see it, it's so cool looking, and it's that gimmick. Remember, we always had the toys that had like the gimmicks, glow in the dark, something clear. This does it for me, so I'm excited.
I think it's perfect to have at as a con exclusive.
Yeah,
you know, it's perfect. Hey, this is what they're supposed to be. Something extra, something weird, something crazy, something fun. At the con.
That's such a cool shot.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and they're going to be offered in the standard packaging later anyway. They're first going to come in like a bag, you know, because I don't blame them they don't want to, you know, bring all kind of packaging down to Augusta. So I get that. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be, you know, $40 without the package is a little much, but then, you know, they gotta make their money somehow. It is an exclusive, so you got to look at it that way. And then we get the Omen of Doom Forgotten King, Baldy.
I like it. It does. This one does feel like he's kind of out of a Star Wars movie, you know, like the Force. But I still like it. It's exactly what Tony just said. This is what an exclusive should be. Yeah, not everybody needs to have it. This is perfect for the people that go there. It's that special.
It's that special thing that they're offering. Yeah, looks like a little hologram. This one, it's pretty dope.
I think Baldy froze because he said special. Oh no, there we go.
Special.
Okay, now he's back.
And then I jumped in.
yeah, that was good jumping in. You heard special, and then you just jumped in. That was fantastic. You're a veteran now, Tony. You know what to do.
That's good.
Yeah, this is a cool looking pose. I gotta grab both. Maybe Punk will let me. Maybe Punk will let me review one of them, and he'll review the other. Or maybe we're both in the hotel room. We can co-review a Punk with toys on a toy kind of movie. How does that work? We split the money. We make the $3 we make from doing the review.
You guys, I'll let you guys figure that shit out.
Your race. All right, and finally, before we bring Ed on from JoeFest, we got the 1/18 scale World of Eagle Force. Anybody want to take a stab at that name? Le Nettoyeur?
Where's the name at? Hold on.
Le Nettoyeur, the assassin.
Oh, I thought you were reading.
Where's the name at?
I misread it.
The World of Eagle Force. Le Nettoyeur.
Yes, that's got to be French. Come on now.
Now, I saw a movie on RedTube called The Assassin.
My goodness. Assassin. All right. Body bag, though. That's cool. That's dope. That's freaking amazing.
I'll paint a goatee on him.
I like this comment. Comes with a pool of blood. That's for the Dracula one. This one comes with a pool of
body bag. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone put a Mr. Clean gif underneath the post from Fresh Monkey. Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at the time.
There you go.
Amazing.
Good timing.
Very cool. So yeah, these will be bagged, and there'll be a 1 and 3 variant, and you can buy up to 2 per day, where I think the other figures are 1 per day.
Oh.
You know, but they'll be released in standard packaging later. So that's Fresh Monkey Fiction. They'll be at JoeFest, and I can't wait to see more from them. Their panel will be on after hours on Saturday, so that's cool. We'll talk more about that later. Looking forward to meeting Bill, and of course, weapons done by most of them done by Mark Von Cannon, Gridiron Studios. So looking forward to that. But should we bring on our first guest?
Why not? Yeah. He's back there hanging.
I think it's time. I think it's time to bring on JoeJoe Community, JoeFest royalty. He's the CEO, founder, and it's Ed Schumacher. What's happening?
What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
Nada.
Ed, this is my first time meeting you, man.
There you go.
Me too, brother.
I'm just gonna dive in, and I'm gonna ask you: is that the lamp behind you? Is that the lamp from A Christmas Story?
That's a lamp that's like been in the house for like 30 years, so it very well could be.
I love it. The leg is bone now.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Hey, I love that we didn't have to do an audio or video check. Usually we have guests. We talked to them for a little bit. We just threw you to the wolves, and it's working out good. Looks like you got a haircut from the last time we saw you in the interview with Punk with Toys too, right? Getting ready.
Yeah, I had to clean up a little bit, but you know.
Looking sharp, Ed. Glad to have you finally on a Toy Kind of Mood. And just right away, I want to ask you, what is your connection, deep connection, tough connection to GIJoe?
Nothing.
Great answer.
Happy there. Like, okay, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week.
This is over.
It's over. Nothing at all. No, I meant like just either growing up, or maybe there was just something that made you say like, I need to do a convention of JoeFest, or just some kind of connection to GIJoe.
Oh man, it's a lifelong thing. Same as you guys, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys still have the toys from you when you were a kid. I still do, and they went into basically in hiding. They were in the crawl space, and they sat there. I want to say 15, 20 years, whatever they did, and we went to. On my birthday years ago, we went to a shop about an hour from here. And it was because we just moved here to Augusta area, and there really isn't much else to do. So we took a ride to Columbia, and we wound up in this toy shop, and didn't collect toys or anything, nothing for a while. And just wound up walking in there and saw a hammerhead, I believe it was, and I took pictures of it, and I had just found I just probably like 6 months earlier I found Facebook, not much of an online guy and all, and mm-hmm. I joined, I was going down looking at things, and I typed in GIJoe, and there was a lot of groups out there, and I was like, what's this? I'm like, I thought I was the only fool into this stuff, for all these years. And I wonder what I got in, in the crawl space and all. And, when you're growing up, you can remember all the stuff you still have, even though you don't see it every day,
Of course.
So
mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the hammerhead, and I take pictures of it, and I think it was like $25. I was missing one antenna or something like that. It wasn't expensive, right? No. So anyway, I put it in this one particular GIJoe group that I was in. It had a lot of members. And I says, hey, look, I'm new to the hobby, is this really worth this price? And, would you buy it? Well, next thing you know, it was like, I don't want to say 15 minutes later, I had 200 and something comments on there, and all these likes, and people like, hey, nice to meet you. And, it was great conversation, right?
True, yeah.
Well, next thing you know, the admin of the group reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, this group here is built on people that have been in the hobby a long time. Your post is kind of offend some people, and it doesn't promote discussion. So we're gonna have to lifetime ban you." And this was all on my birthday, all right?
Oh, Ed, were you on
Troublemaker,
that,
Ed. You're
Yeah,
on that Canadian site with the admin Liam?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. This is all true stories. So
bullshit right there.
there was a couple
Copyright
guys
strike right away.
yeah, there was a couple guys that kind of defended me, and they banned them too.
Oh wow!
And
Horrible
next
group.
day we created the GIJoe Rec Room on Facebook, and now it's got over 10,000 members. And several years later, I found out that there was a JoeCon, and it was in Chattanooga. No, not Chattanooga. Where was it 2 years? Orlando. And that's where I grew up, mostly Florida. So I said to the wife, "Hey, let's go down there. We can do Disney and all. And I'd like to see this. I want to see what it's all about." So, no, it wasn't Murata Rubin. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Ed, can I
Frankie
ask you around the time frame
Yeah.
this was? What year was this? Just like roughly.
I mean, we've had the Rec Room now for
You guys made the
probably
Rec Room,
10
that's right.
years, 10 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, somewhere around that.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, we went down to Orlando. I saw it all, and I met people that we were in the Rec Room with, and it was kind of like cool. There's people with similar interests and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can collect all the toys you want, but what you guys are doing right here is the friendships and all that. That's really what's important. So,
Absolutely.
the next year they did it in Springfield. Couldn't make it out there. Then they did it in Chattanooga, which is still within driving distance for me. And got there and found out it's the last show. And I'm like, wait a minute. I just found this, what's going on? So anyway, at the end of the show, they had a panel, pretty lengthy panel. And they basically told everybody, this is the last one. There's no going back. It is what it is. And I walked out. I remember we all walked out. All right. All in the group. And it was a lot of people in the panel room. And it was people saying goodbye to each other. And they had, from what I understand, the JoeCon went on for like 25 years. Wow. And a lot of these people went to every one of them. And there was a lot of friendships that were made from it, besides the online world. And these people were family to each other, really, at this point, So it came down to being, it kind of bothered me, to drive home. I was like, what do you mean this is over? I really just the second one I've been to, and I had a blast. It was a great time, not counting whatever money you spent and all that stuff, in the toy world, you get to spend no matter what. So, but anyway, you get to the fact that it was over, and it took like a couple weeks and talking online, in our little admin group that we got. It was like, it was just, there were so many posts that we kept seeing that all the memories that were made at this over the years, and and it was over. You know what I'm saying? It was just as quick as it started for me, it was over.
Well, I got a newsflash real quick, Ed.
Yep.
Now that you let us go to JoeFest and have a panel,
it's over
now too.
Yeah, it's over.
As soon as the panel's done,
that's all right.
There's
I'm
no
all right
more
with that too. I mean, the amount of hours
I
I've
go
put
to
in.
and the last one I go to.
First and last, baby, a toy kind of mood. Put it down the dump.
Yeah,
I gotta ask you though. Let me before we get back to the story though, because I know we got to keep everyone on their toes. Has there ever, you're letting us do these panels and we're all meeting for the first time. Have you ever let anyone new to JoeFest do a panel and it just went horribly wrong?
That's a great question. You ready for this?
Uh-oh.
I've never attended a panel, so I couldn't tell you.
We won't be nervous now because you won't be there. You'll be too busy.
Yeah, you could do whatever the heck you want.
He'll be running
I'm
the floor.
usually way too busy to even get to a panel. So
I love it. Look, we'll talk about what JoeFest is, but yeah, go ahead. You can continue and wrap up that, and then we'll get into what the panel is, and the show is, and we'll talk about the different panels and guests that we got going on.
It basically it took like 6-8 months. I did a little show. It was a lot of encouragement in the community. Hey, give it a shot. So we did our first show. 10/7. But anyway, we did a little show, and it was in the Hilton Garden Inn, and it probably had like 1,200 square foot space. Not very big, right? Well, anyway, we got there. Me and my wife got there. It was like 6 a.m, and we pull up to the hotel, and they're lined up down the street and halfway down to the highway on foot. I'm like, what the heck? Next thing you know, we go in there, we sit down. There's a news crew that comes up, and what's all the commotion? Why is this going on like this? What's going on in this town? All right. Next thing you know, cops are out there and everything. They had to direct traffic. Started letting people in. The vendor room got so overfull that the vendors got ticked off, and they pulled their merchandise out into the parking lot and around the hotel, and it became like a big yard sale. And it took off from there. We moved to the next space the next year. We were told not to come back because they couldn't handle us. That was the second year, and the third year was the COVID year. We did 50% of the space. That went all right. Nobody was nobody caught anything or anything that we were ever notified.
Cases or anything.
Yeah. And then the fourth year we blew up, and this year it's even bigger. So, or 2 years now, 2 more years. So, it's just been rapid growth. We've got enough vendors now to actually fill this. Well, we're full, but we have enough on the waiting list to fill it 3 times over now.
Wow. Hey, Ed, what number JoeFest is this?
This is 6.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great story too, that you just said about really kind of continuing the community and all the friendships that are made. Yeah.
It's never been about money or anything for me, because if it was, we wouldn't be doing this. It's not a get rich quick scheme thing. It's not San Diego. It's not MegaCon. It's nothing like that. I love seeing the people each year. And, I got a message today from a guy coming from Britain. So excited. First time ever coming. Can't wait. I can't wait to meet all the people I know online. Can't wait to buy toys. Thank you for doing it. That's the whole reason for doing it right there. It's never, profitability is minimal on stuff like this. The vendors make more than I do. So yeah, 60th anniversary. I'll be dead by then.
I think he means the 60th anniversary of GIJoe.
Oh, okay.
Joe. That's also why it's important. And I know you talked about it with Punk about, because Hasbro's not there and continuing that legacy and stuff. And that's also why we want to do our panel, but we'll save that for a bit. Let's just get to the guests, the main attractions, and we'll tell everyone, for those tuning in, maybe there's a Toy Kind of Mood people just like the show and they don't really know exactly where JoeFest is. It's next week. A week from pretty much today is when a lot of us are traveling in. So next Friday, June 21st to 23rd. And then it'll be at the Augusta Convention Center, and we're in. I want to thank you again for you didn't know us or anything like that, but you
I heard about it.
Oh man, I don't know why you're even on this show then, if you heard about me. The things you heard about
you, Travis, not me or Baldy.
Oh, I know. It's all me.
When we get done here, I still gotta get back to Punk, so
oh man. We're done. We're in trouble. Well, speaking of Punk, but you talked about your favorite GI Joe with me, and is a connection to Glenda, because we talked about Glenda is going to be part of that Dragonfly, and now we're going to have some of the reuse here for Flash. And you said Flash is your favorite Joe, so what's your why? Like why? What's your connection to Flash?
It was the first one I ever got, so pretty simple on that one.
Ed,
Hey,
right now your haircut is very similar to Flash.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Look at the comparison.
I mean, it was the worst haircut I ever got. So don't
Stop it.
Yeah, listen,
I was
as a
trimming it
guy,
myself when I got home, and I was like, "What? Was she drunk when she did this one?"
listen, as a guy who can't grow any hair, I appreciate your hair. You look great, man.
Same here. That's why I'm dying inside, but it's a nice cut.
Hey, you know what? While we got Craig here with a comment, he says Flash is all I want for this year at Christmas. I gotta give this guy credit, man, because he made these shirts, and we got a couple for you, Ed.
Oh, the Chris?
We got a couple for you, man. So
Appreciate
shout out to GIJoe on Etsy, Slickalicious, Craig, man, you did a great job. And then not only did he make the standard one in Heather Gray, we got this one, and then here's the back, right?
Well,
Oh,
cool.
rocked out.
Got
Wow.
all the logos and everything. So you even
Thanks,
threw
Craig.
on Larry's. I don't know why we did that, but we threw on Punk with Toys. But no, we got this is sick. So we got a couple for you, and we want to thank Craig for that. And while we're at it, we might as well just show off a couple things he's got coming soon. Got the Techno Viper stuff. So he's teasing some Techno Viper stuff. So I'm interested in that. And then I got myself a hockey jersey. So yeah, go check out GIJoe on Etsy, and shout out to Slickalicious for hooking up these shirts, man. We all got shirts, and we'll make sure we throw Ed a couple. Love the design. It's awesome. And thanks for letting us kind of like mess around with it, do a little MTV up your design a little bit. So
Awesome.
but yeah, so that was the Flash. You said it was just basically your first, and we're showing Grand Slam as well, because on the stream, Lenny actually accidentally said Grand Slam instead of Flash. Did you pick that up, Tony?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, and I'm like, what? She's got Flash's weapons, bro, not Grand Slams.
He's got Grand Slam on the mind, so they're making
Yeah,
both,
I was
obviously.
just gonna say that's coming next.
Did that on purpose.
And then there's a look at Tony's contraptions. You got both there. You want to just talk about that real quick, Tone?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I wasn't sure when, Classified would ever get to Flash and Grand Slam, and they're so alike in their 3 3/4 inch. I'm like, well, let me find some pieces that'll let me do both of them, because once you find one of them, you've got the other one. You know what I mean? So I just did little things to spruce them up. They've got different chest pieces. I've got some of Jay's Armory Whimper Case stuff on them. Great Iron weapons, of course. With their helmets, their weapons, their packs. So but yeah, Marvel Legends helped a lot. Thank you, Hasbro. Thank you, Marvel Legends. But yeah,
Oh, yeah. But can't work on the Flash without working on Grand Slam. That's right. Always making bangers, Tony. So that's the fun thing about. That's the fun thing about the panel we're doing, because we all have different approaches to reviews, and yours is custom. So it'll be fun to talk about that. We'll talk about that panel in a bit, but we have the Sarge going there. And I want to ask you, Ed, who's your favorite all-time guest at JoeFest that isn't Sarge or Larry Hama? Because those seem to be the Michael Jordan and LeBron James of JoeFest. But who would you have after that?
I can't think of his name, but he was the voice of Dr. Mindbender. It's been several years.
Someone in the chat will know. Who's the voice of?
He was here several years ago.
Oh, who was it? Oh,
I don't know if Baldy's Googling it. Anybody in the chat know? Let us know. But yeah, you said the voice. So what? Why was he your favorite? Was just good person, or what?
He was very personable, and as soon as he got on site, he was introducing himself to everybody in the main entrance. Checked in and immediately sat down with everybody. Yeah, Brian Cummings, and
I just pulled it up.
Yep,
Brian Cummings. Okay.
He sat down in the front, and he just immediately just started talking with everybody. He was never not approachable, very just outgoing, and and real appreciative of why people actually wanted his autograph or to meet him, or there were so many people thanking him. And we took him out to dinner the second night, and he was floored that he had such a fan following, because the restaurant wound up being packed and everybody wound up going over here, and it was just treating him like royalty. But he was just so appreciative, and it was really same for Lisa Raggio too. I mean, them two right there, just didn't really believe that they were loved as much as they were, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was just the whole experience of it. It's really hard to put into words, but they were just great people,
Which I guess I'll get back to Sergeant in a minute, but we'll transition to this because I know we got questions. So Morgan Lofting, do you have any update? Is she okay, or can you speak on it?
Yeah, she's okay, but okay. She had something that happened, and I can't really say, but
No, I get it.
Yep.
It just popped up on my phone, the contract for next year, so she's definitely all in for next year.
Beautiful.
So,
well,
yeah,
we wish her the best.
Yeah, we're gonna do. My wife just she got home a little while ago, and she's out there. She's putting together a greeting card, and we're gonna have everybody sign it, that wants to, and send it to her, wishing her the best. She was really down from what the agent told me, that she couldn't make it, and she really, really wanted to make it. So, it's just a mishap that happened, and.
Ed, you might want something more than a one greeting card. Maybe you had like a giant poster board.
That's what she did. She bought like these neon pink things. She's like, I got it. And I'm like, I can't do anything else. I've got enough going on.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely class act for sure. And then we definitely just want to shout out the homies. We're friends with Mark. He's been on the show before, Mark Weber, and they were supposed to do a panel with Morgan, man. That definitely stinks. Is what's on Joe mind? I haven't been able to talk to them, but are they still doing a panel? I know they're kind of doing the panel before ours at the 4 o'clock.
Yeah, they're gonna do something else. I messaged them as soon as I got the message from the agent, and I said, do you want to just cancel the panel, or do you want to take it over and do something else? And they said, yeah, we'll come up with something. So I know time is of an essence, but I'm sure that they'll come up with something great.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, they're good dudes. And then, so here's the thing with you today, we kind of just want to run through the panels and guests. We had a great opening story. We kind of have an idea of, who you are and what you're doing, but you talked with Punk for 17 hours. It was like an epic interview. So I'm sure everybody
it's a split screen because it's still going right now.
It was a really good. It was a good interview. I liked it. I'm like, all right, good for you, Punk. Awesome.
Yeah. I finished it up last night and I got a backstory on it. So look, we don't have to do it all again. We'll just this is more of a hangout, talking the panels. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you at the fest.
We all know that Punk is an interesting guy.
He's a great guy. He really is a great guy. Yeah.
He's very interesting. I want to kill him, but everybody wants to kill me too. Anyway.
Not as much as me.
Not as much as Ed.
Yeah.
What I love about this screenshot is that Tony has the show hours on it right there. So I didn't even have to put it in the notes. The show hours are Friday 2 hours, 6 to 8. Saturday early admission 9 to 10, and then general admin 10 to 5. Then at 5 o'clock's our panel, and then Fresh Monkey after. Sunday 11 to 5. So there you go. There's
11 to 3 Sunday. Sunday dies down a lot.
11 to 3. Okay.
Yeah. So Sunday is like
this comment.
Carlos. Oh my God. Oh, too funny.
Yeah. But everybody gets in there at 11 on Sunday, and they get their last pieces that they regretted that they didn't get, and usually people start heading home. So
cool. All right. Well, hopefully they head home after the other panel that we're part of. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so Sarge will be there, and there's a breakfast. None of the guys want to spend $100 on eggs and coffee, so I don't think we're going to that. But you know, he
tell
does.
you though,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whole experience, Travis. Oh my goodness! Every year people
See,
walk away.
Baldy, we might have to do it.
It's just he's one-on-one in there, and he tells all these different stories, and you can ask him anything, and it's just such a great experience. People every year are like, I'm so glad I didn't pass that up, because you don't know
Travis
how
will be
often
there.
it's gonna happen. You know?
Nice.
I'm in. Sign me up, Ed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Both ends.
All right. Well, maybe we'll think about it strongly. So we got a couple more panels, and then we'll bring on our next guest. He's early, so we'll let him hang in the backstage.
Leave him
but
back there
we've
for a
had-
while.
What the? Yeah. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. We've had Skeletron on. Shout out to Ben and Mark, great guys. Hope to catch up with them. We actually asked Skeletron to be on the specific episode, but they were both slammed, of course, leading up to the show. And same thing with Fresh Monkey. So I think what we'll do is do a post JoeFest once we meet everybody, maybe once they do their panels or their meet and greets and stuff. I don't actually, Skeletron's not actually having a panel, right? This time. So
I think they're gonna kind of go together with Bob on his panel.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. They'll be on the panel. Yeah, because I don't have any notes on that. Okay, I just have that Bob will be there. Okay, so they'll be hanging out with Bob. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Brecken, legendary
Bob's got
Palatoy
the
guy.
floor. Bob's got the floor, of
Okay.
course, but I'm sure
Yep.
you know, it kind of goes hand in hand. So
Here he is. I was hungover all Sunday last year. In fact, I introduced myself to Ed while having the worst headache of my life.
You guys,
You
you
get a
believe
shirt
in
too at
aspirin
the
before you go to
start.
bed? Come on, man. That's the oldest trick. Take some
There you
Advil
go.
before you go to bed, and you'll be fine.
You get a $25 shirt. So breakfast is $75 then. There you go. Still pretty pricey. All right, Super 7. They seem to be an enigma this year. There's a lot of rumblings about what's going on. I don't want you to speak for Super 7, but maybe if you can hint, are they going to be showing off any O-rings? I'm sure people are going to be asking me that.
Don't know that for sure, but I did. David Allen does the GIJoe new news review, and he called me last night, and he said that he had an interview with Brian Flynn. Was it last night or the night before? And something about they're doing something. So
yep. All right.
I'm not privy of it either, to be honest with you. I wish I was, but I'm sure it's gonna be great. And they've already said that they want to continue going years forward here. So
Nice.
you know, I'm sure by next year there's definitely O-rings on the shelves. So you know, we'll definitely have a chance to get everybody, you know, get it in the hands of our attendees, you know.
Yep.
I'll kill that dance battle.
For sure. I love this comment. Shout out to Genghis. He's going live with our best friend Larry right when we're done the show. We'll send everyone there. Punk, you owe me $5 for that. But yeah, all right. So JoeFest, Super 7. We'll see what happens. I'm actually shocked that this guy on the right isn't doing a panel with Super 7. It seemed natural to me because he's the one who introduced O-rings. I'm talking about Pixel Dan. He was kind of the one who was like, hey, I got this newsflash thing, GIJoe. And I thought, oh, that'd be great. He could follow up with it. But I guess not. Is he doing a panel or what? Are we seeing Pixel Dan or Dan Larson? Are they doing panels? Or are they just signing? What are they up to?
Yeah, I think they're just signing, and they're going to be out there doing their thing, you know. And besides, you know, once a toy kind of mood took the slot, it was no more room left. So
Well, they're welcome to come hang out with us if they want.
Learn from the pros. Yeah, they can learn from the pros. Whatever. All right, so they're there, but Dan Larson, man, he did a great job with PulseCon with Hasbro. It'll be interesting to meet him if we can. He does just great work with Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy. More of a historian than some YouTube
clickbait crap, whatever. Like he's more like, hey, I got this like whole thing on like the history of 1989 GI Joe and stuff like just like Ken does. So I like that kind of stuff. It's legacy work, it's work that will last forever. And shout out to both Dan. So we got that. We got Full Horsemen. So here's the thing: it's like, to me, they're mega big, but I haven't heard a whole lot about what they're doing with JoeFest. What's the story with Full Horsemen?
I think they're waiting until they have a convention this weekend up in Charlotte.
Right on the right there. Heroes Convention. We're not trying to have any kind of battle here between JoeFest and Heroes, but I figured this is why we haven't gotten JoeFest news, is because of the one on the right.
They are actually sending more of their higher ups and more of their group to us. So I'm sure that it's going to be much more bigger and whatnot, but no, I'm still waiting too.
Cool.
And some guy I think we know, he's going to be at both. And we'll talk to him in a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to be throwing stuff at him on Sunday.
So anyway, we're big. Oh, we're definitely going to record that. We're big fans of Full Horsemen. I did a review of the Bastet, and that whole Egyptian set was wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing them in person and seeing what they got. It's going to cost me a lot of money probably. So, and then we'll talk with Tony and Baldy. Wait, Baldy, you signed up for this, the custom class?
Hell yeah, man!
That thing is awesome, isn't it?
That's pretty badass. Listen, I'm a Sarge fan. My uncle looks like him, so I'm going to see my uncle the following weekend. So my plan is to build this and give it to him as a gift.
That's cool. There's also, because we just approved it the other night, they're printing them now. There's actually going to be card backs and whatnot for it too. So to make it look like a big retro.
Oh, there's going to be a card back for it?
Yeah, it is. We're going all out.
Screw my uncle. Never mind.
Yeah, no, the artwork and it's going to look great.
Cool, man. I'll see you there.
Yep.
DWH will be there. Dave, our friend David, he's been on the show before. He'll be there with Baldy. And don't
forget to bring your Sergeant Slaughter figure. Anybody doing this class, you have to bring a figure with you.
Yep.
Well, some of the details are that this is going to be on June 21st, 10 a.m. It seats 50. It's going to go on for 5 hours. So bring some snacks. So it says they'll provide light snacks.
Yeah, we're going to bring something in there to make it more fun.
That's good. That's good. And then you get the free parts to convert the classified slaughter. Of course, you bring your figure, as Baldy said. And what is it? You could purchase this toy class at JoeFestUSA.com. JoeFest
As of a night ago, there was only one seat left, so I'm not even sure it's still available. Yeah.
Did you guys say the class is 5 hours?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it can be up to 5. There's people that
depends on how good you are. Yeah, Tony Spiggs did. He did it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, I've got an attention deficit disorder. I'm not sure if I'll be able to sit for 5 hours.
No, you're going. Nope, you're going. Sorry.
There's usually a pretty loyal group with the customer. This is our first year of doing a classified size figure, but there's been a pretty loyal group that every year they meet at this class, and that's been always their thing. So, you give them a bunch of time so they could sit there and just have a good time talking. And
oh, cool. All right. I might be bouncing off the walls, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
What about this? There's a customs contest. I think we know who'd win that if he jumped in, but is that a thing?
Yeah, it is. We have some tables we're going to set out front, and then we have some judges that come by and pick the top 3. So that is a thing we do each year. We do that. We do a cosplay contest, and we're actually next year we're going to be working on a photography contest added to that. We haven't done that in a couple of years, and I was talking to a person last night that really wants to take charge of that and promote it and really come up with some great prizes already. So we're working on 2025 as much as we are working on 2024 this week. And yeah,
getting ahead.
Yeah, I got to. The waiting list is ridiculously long for 25 already, and we've already signed 4 guests. So we're going to be releasing that in about a week and a half. So Full steam ahead.
Nice.
For an hour on a Toy Kind of Mood. Stay tuned. He's going to announce all 4 people at JoeFest 2025 right on the show exclusively. No, just kidding. But let's fly through a few more guests before we bring on our 2 guests that are going to be at JoeFest. I know there were comments earlier. Let's see if I can find them.
These things have been killing me.
Yeah.
Really?
Killing
Yeah.
you.
Because people have been messaging me. I live overseas. How do I get one?
Oh,
I was
oh
like,
wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, bud. You got to get here.
yeah. So it's great stuff.
Yeah.
Ray's
So
doing it.
Ramen.
Ray Murphy's coming from Ireland.
Yep, that's
Yep.
true. So shout out to Ace. We've had him on Toy Con Move before. So he's got the Hunter MBT and Desert Scheme there. That's a pre-sale, 180 shipped in the US. And then the Gullwing will actually be there, right, Ed? Is that the
believe
story
so.
with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ace will
200
be there
pieces.
too.
What's up?
Ace will be there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's actually gonna be on a panel with Mega J Retro that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Sitting right next to
but-
Punk.
There you go.
I'm excited to meet Mega J because
Mhm.
have you guys met him?
Oh yeah,
He's
he's
been
been
on
on the
before.
show. He's been one of our favorite guests of a Toy Kind of
He's
he
Mood.
good
moving,
guy?
yeah. Ed,
Great
Because
guy.
I've
Great
been
dude.
I promoted him today, and my phone has been getting lit up from Facebook, and they're deleting the post saying that they're spam. So
What?
he's got
Oh,
a
he's a big
hater out there
He's a big
somewhere.
Motu guy.
But I hate her. It's
Yeah, he's got a hater out there somewhere that keeps reporting. The
Hopefully
post.
it's not Pixel Dan because they're both Motu masters. So that'd be the
It's actually-
fight. You could have another brawl at Joe Fest.
It's actually both
Because
Dan Larson and
one of
Pixel
them's a
Dan.
wrestler. I
Don't
think
like
Pixel
me.
Dan has wrestling matches. Sorry
Yeah.
about that, Tony. What was that?
No, I'm talking shit. But both Dans don't like him. Pixel Dan or Dan Larson. They don't.
See, that would have been a great main event. Dan versus Dan. And
Yeah. One of them actually has wrestled. Pixel Dan wrestled remember Zack Ryder from WWE. So they actually had a match in the Indies.
Really?
But moving on, we get this amazing. What do you think of this, Tony? You're a custom guy. What do you think of this Riot Press American Ninja X thing? He says it's not a render. This is the figure on the right that we're getting.
figure on the right.
Maybe the one on the left's a render.
And this thing is cool. It's like man, Storm Shadow meets Captain America or something.
yeah.
Right.
It's
We've been getting
pretty
a lot of
dope, dude.
messages on this
I'm loving it. I'm thinking, repaint here and there, but that thing is pretty damn cool. I like it.
Yeah, we've been
It's
getting a
gonna
lot of
be-
messages. They're like, are you sure this is going to be there? Because if it's there, I'll be here. And
Oh yeah, I want one too. It's
I
112, right?
want that
112.
thing.
I
That
believe
thing
so.
looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 112. Yeah, it's
Robot
Riot
presses,
Press
yeah.
Boys,
Riot.
Patrick
Comics.
Thomas Parnell, I think, and then the sculpts from Luke Wakeford. I think that was it. So definitely
it's,
some classified meets Marvel Legend vibes.
Yeah,
American
it looks like
Shadow.
Storm. It looks
I
like
got
Storm
Baldy.
Shadow. Yeah, sorry guys. It's looks like Storm Shadow swallowed Captain America, swallowed Snake Eyes.
Wow.
we get Bucky in there somewhere. Bucky's in there too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Bucky. It's pretty cool looking though.
It is.
I'll tell you what, we'll save the rest of that part for a little later. We have a few more guests and panels we'll talk about, but I don't want to keep our guests waiting too long. They're waiting 3 minutes.
late.
I don't want them to hate me. I don't want them to hate me. They already hate me. So no, but let's bring on a couple guys. He's been on the show before. We called it Terradrome back then. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Called it. But 3DJoes.
Oh, no!
Carson Mataxis.
It's
What up?
Carson.
Oh my God, Metaxas is here.
He's on mute.
You're
You're
on mute,
muted,
buddy.
buddy. You're
Mute.
muted.
Ah,
No sound,
Still
brother.
muted. Still muted. And he's not muted on StreamYard either. So it
Well,
could be a headset thing.
He looks like he's playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. All right. Well, when he finishes Black Ops 6, we'll bring him on we'll bring him back. But in the meantime, we'll say hi to Ken, who's got some poor Wi-Fi going on. What's happening, Ken?
Mr. Poe, can we hear you, Mr. Poe?
So 2 things. I don't think I'm muted.
Oh, you're
golly.
good.
Audio?
You're good.
Okay, audio. Let's fix the audio issue. Everything's good?
This is not on our end, guys. What's happening?
Audio's good?
What happened
Yes.
to Snoopy?
Audio's fine.
Ken, we can hear you, but I think you got all of Carson's audio.
Okay, so am I
Ed,
still too loud, or do I need to come
You're
down?
good.
A little loud,
A little.
but
Okay,
can we hear
I'm-
Carson?
All right, I'm gonna come down a little.
It's your
And second
headset
of all-
thing, I think.
And second of all, there's a Black Ops 6.
Carson
Yeah,
has
they just
no
announced it
sound.
at the Xbox showcase.
Goodness.
Hello.
All right. I got some catching up to
Wilhelm.
do. Last game I played was Black Ops 2. All right. Let me know if my audio's
We
better
still
now.
don't.
Ken,
We still don't hear Carson.
one
But we'll
close
just leave this
talker.
up here till he talks. We'll leave this up here till he talks.
Carson, you're muted, brother.
Check.
3, 2.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we got you.
Sorry about
Okay.
that, fellas. My bad.
Don't ever
Now,
mute my
Travis-
Carson.
I want to get back to a therapy moment, man. Who hates you? Nobody hates Travis.
Oh, that's
I
sweet.
might hate
that
Travis
guy.
a little bit.
Ken does?
But
That guy
Oh.
way over
only,
there.
but only a little bit. He's working his way back into good books. He just got to send me a copy of Black Ops 6.
Ken
You know,
is
and the
flexing with
console
the
to go with it.
tomahawk.
And we're good.
I don't have to
Yeah, he
send
is.
you a
I see
copy. It's
that.
on Game Pass. It's basically free if you got Xbox.
All right. So,
So
you
I don't
see
need
the
security
Tomahawk
for
more than you
Travis?
see the Omnibus or the Super Cop. Okay.
He had to go get the omnibus out of the closet because Carson's on.
I'm just glad the omnibus isn't on top of the tomahawk because eventually the weight would put a dent in that cardboard. So,
And I got the Super
What's up,
Cop
everybody?
at JoeFest last year.
hey, Ed, shout out.
Hey,
What's up,
Carson.
Baldo? How you doing up there?
I'll see you Sunday.
Are you coming to
Yeah,
Charlotte?
Sunday.
Okay,
yeah.
sweet. I'm
Oh,
gonna be right next to Larry. Like
Larry.
Larry's right here, and I'm like
Yep.
diagonally right next to him. So
Yep.
you'll see me.
Cool.
I keep trying to show up as close to Larry as possible. So
Respect.
everybody that loves G.I. Joe and goes to him just kind of has to see me.
You got to get
Yeah.
Ron there, though.
Mark.
Nailed it.
I would love to get Ron Rudat to Heroes Con. Ron's doing a lot of toy shows now. I don't think he's started doing comic book conventions, but I certainly think there's plenty of tie in there with
Yeah.
him creating all the characters that they
True.
made all the comic books based on. So
Yep.
Yep. So what's up, everybody?
What's
What
going on? Thanks for
Going on,
thanks for
brother?
hanging out. We're previewing JoeFest. We couldn't do it without you two guys. But before we get into the hardcore stuff, exactly what you're doing at JoeFest.
Mhm.
I'll start with you, Carson. Now that your audio's working, what was your favorite JoeFest and maybe JoeFest memories? Something short.
For the record, I've been with Ed since we were in that little hotel, right? Where did we start out? How many years has it been now, Ed? It's
Six
six.
years.
So JoeFest started before JoeCon ended, right? And it was around for a year or two before JoeCon ended. And so honestly, like probably the best JoeFest for me would be when it like officially took the crown. You know what I mean? Like it felt like this is a really easy answer for me. 5 years ago, 2019, Ron Rudat and Jenny Rudat celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary at the very first JoeFest that it felt like the crown had been handed down. You know what I mean? 2018 was the last JoeCon. Hasbro took the license back from the G.I.JOE Collectors Club. And, we were all pretty sad in 2018 because the convention went away and Toys R Us went bankrupt and went out of business. And they were the only people left selling G.I. Joes. All these people that are in G.I. Joe now for the 6-inch that weren't here back in 2017, 2018, 2019, those were some dark years, man. It was not like super. Of course, all the fans were keeping it going. I had the 3DJoes stuff going. Dan was already working on his books. Declassified's always doing what they're doing with awesome booths and digging up history, putting on cool panels and stuff like that. So tons of customizing going on, obviously, that kind of thing. The fandom never dies, right? But the brand does go dormant sometimes. Sure. And in 2019, it's crazy. That's like a dead year for G.I. Joe. There was almost nothing happening with G.I. Joe in 2019. And yet that was my favorite JoeFest because a lot of my good people that, I had built, friendships with since starting to go to JoeCons in 2012, they all showed up at JoeFest. And Ron and Jenny Rudat showed up to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. And Ed gave us a very nice VIP dinner for them. And it was just a really special show because Joe was down, but the fandom wasn't out.
That's awesome. So basically, your favorite JoeFest was the year there was no Joe.
It's true.
That's
It's
pretty-
true.
that's
I mean,
it.
it seems crazy that it worked out that
Yeah.
way, but it was
That's
it was an
pretty great.
amazing, like, things were kind of dark in 2018, and in 2019 it was like, nah, we're still here.
We actually have a follow-up question from a fellow Toy Kind of Mood guy that's in the chat. Genghis, shout to KJ, says, how does the Joe fandom, how does it compare now to the live action days, Rise of Cobra, Resolute, Retaliation?
Is this directed at me, do you think?
Yeah, we'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
You go ahead and answer. It's fine. It's all
right.
good.
All right. How does it compare? I honestly think that G.I. Joe is more hype right now than it was during the live action. Maybe not the Rise of Cobra, because, man, if you look at it from a wide angle lens, like 2007, they started their 4-inch rebrand with the 25th anniversary and a brand new format, for these figures. And they were using the retro artwork. And that's what pulled me back into G.I. Joe for the first time since I was 11 years old. So that was 2007. So they had a good build there, a good momentum going. What year did Rise of Cobra come out? Do you guys remember?
09?
09?
Yes,
So,
09.
So I'd say it was strong. Those first few years, it was really strong. And then there was that big delay on Retaliation. It only cost them a year, by theater time, but that killed their momentum. That's when G.I. Joe fell out of Walmart. It fell out of Target. The only place it was left was Toys R Us. And then they started simping with some 2-packs that were mostly repaints. It was it had it winded down slowly. We'll put it that way, right? So I would say that from 2007 to 2010, 2011, those were strong years. But then it had this kind of slow winding down, and that probably resulted in the death of the G.I. Joe Collectors Club, the end of JoeCon as the official convention, the end of exclusives. Hasbro had this thing where they were going to do their own convention every year. And so they put on HasCon in 2017, I believe. And that show was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trash talking. That show was fantastic. They treated G.I. Joe right. And that's largely due to Dan and Daryl DePriest, who worked at Hasbro at the time, putting on an amazing show and inviting all the legends in. Man, they had like 25 of them. It was incredible. But they never did the show again. Right. So that plays into what I'm saying. Like 2018, 2019, it was pretty dark, man. And then 6-inch came out, and it's I'm fired up for it right now. You can obviously tell. I'm relieved. I'm relieved though, honestly. You know what I mean?
Well, that's part of why, with the hype, this is a good segue. I don't mean to bring on guests and then talk about us, but there were comments, but I'll say, like, there's no G.I. Joe classified representation. And it's like arguably the biggest thing going, right? I mean, we can't lie about that. And
Classified's freaking huge. Yes, classified.
I was like, why, if Lenny can't be there and Tony and Emily or BMAC, then we can. We're not spokespeople for Hasbro, but we covered a lot where it's a fan panel. It's like, why not get a good group of people that review these figures, and they're all distinct styles and all like that, and we can represent for them in a bit, but we can actually be critical about it if we need to be.
Please do. That makes it more authentic.
And I want to ask, like, Ed, what captivated you about the idea of this JoeFest June? Because I was like, well, we need to. Was it just basically it's a slot for G.I. Joe Classified? Basically, it's a representation, or what did you think of the idea?
I thought it was a great idea at first, and it was just, we, like you said, we didn't have 6-inch represented. You can find them on the sales floor, but we weren't doing any panels or anything. And then you guys rolled in with this, and then the custom class rolled in with theirs. So, 6-inch is really taking the market by storm here. So to have it represented is huge for the show and for the fans.
Yeah, well, and I just think Baldy and Tony, do you have any thoughts on, you were happy to jump on this panel to represent 1/12 scale, and maybe even Ken can jump in on this, just kind of talk about filling the void.
Well, if we want to go with Ken first, Ken's our best.
No, I just got another message from a friend saying turn your mic down. So let me know if I'm still
You're perfect.
absorbed.
You're good, bro.
if I've still absorbed Carson's audio from before he had his audio, but I've still got that audio, which doesn't really make any sense when you think about it. So yeah, I think Travis, you've asked if I could come on and kind of do like a Money in the Bank cash in for this panel and show up at 5:30. I think is what you've said. So we got to find like a briefcase prop to hand in, and I cash in and I join the panel with you. No, it's good to get the classified representation because a lot of people are going to get their Dragonfly a little bit later this year. There's all the rumors about the next HasLab that's coming out. A lot of people are going to be getting their ferret very soon. Like a lot of us are going to be on the road to JoeFest on June 18th when the Marauders goes up and the Stinger goes up on order. So yeah, I mean, if I miss it, I can just say I was on the road, but you know, will I really be on the road or will I just be lazy and don't want to use my phone? I have no idea. But I kind of feel like the classified is really on the rise right now, right? Especially with the retro carded stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are saying, you know, like, how come they're giving us the best version of the Cobra Trooper or the Stalker or whatever it is, or Cobra Commander right now? I'm like, yeah, but Hasbro always does that. I'm not saying it's right, but they do the same thing with Transformers. You know, they give you the Starscream and the dull colors, then they give you the Sunbow colors, then they give you the Sunbow colors with the crown and the cape from the 86 movie. They always do it. So it's like either wait, you know, or sell your other one or something like that. But I'm really glad to be able to come in and talk about G.I.JOE Classified.
No, thanks for the chair shot. He's going to be, for people watching that are going to the panel, not going to be surprised, but he's a special guest.
Hey, Ken, just a quick question. Are you trying to say that Hasbro reuses molds?
I mean, I will not confirm or deny nor speak for Hasbro. I did not say it. You may have heard it, but I did not say it.
Well, I will say that Masters of the Universe has never done that. So this is kind of a shock to me.
I mean, neither has DCUC.
I mean, you know, I may have implied it. I did not say it. You may have heard it. But okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to jump in here real quick while I have the floor. And I'm super excited to be kind of representing the 6-inch GIJoe. Just like Carson said, like there's certain things that pull you back into the brand. And during the pandemic, I think a lot of us rediscovered, you know, you're stuck at home. You rediscovered your old figures, you know, in the attic, in the basement, wherever you had it. And it was during the pandemic that my mom gave me a couple shoe boxes of old figures. I did something very similar to Ed, and I went on Facebook and I found a couple groups, and I had the original Steel Brigade. I actually had a nice little conversation sidebar with Bobby Valla. He helped me out with identifying what I had. So it's been really cool. And then all of a sudden that year, my kids got me a Cobra Commander at GameStop, and they gave it to me for my birthday. So that was my first figure.
So your kids did it to you.
No,
that's
they
great. That's great. Usually it's the other way. Usually it's going in the other direction. That's trying to get our kids to love it. It's like, I
don't know who saw it, but they saw it at GameStop and picked it up for me, and then I've been hooked ever since. So
that's awesome.
It's been a lot of fun. Carson, you and I met at a New Jersey Comic-Con show. Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying the wrong thing. Yeah, the New Jersey Collectors Con.
That's right. I call it NJCC. So yeah, you could have said Comic-Con and I wouldn't have known. But I think you're right. I think it is New Jersey Collectors Con. And Fran runs that, the guy that runs his tank. And he's always been just an amazing supporter of me. So I went there this spring. I'm actually coming back this fall, man. If you're going to be in the area, I'll be back. And cool. I should have the Digipacks with me.
Nice.
Awesome.
For the record, I actually think I'm traveling for the Eagles that weekend, but if I'm not, I'll be there.
That's what I'm waiting.
The Philadelphia Eagles?
Or the Eagles? The Eagles rock.
What do you do for the Eagles? Or do you just go to watch?
No. I'm a fan.
Okay, just checking. I had to check that. You know,
he cheerleads. He cheerleads for the Eagles.
He's the mascot, the Baldy beard.
Yeah.
I love it.
We have to celebrate for a moment. You guys probably saw the update. These are the first discs.
Oh yeah.
The first discs that I've burned in maybe 15 years, and I do video. Oh, thank you. Nice.
Very nice.
There you go.
He queued that up on time, didn't he? That's amazing.
He always does that to me. He always does. He queues it up, baby.
I do video and animation for a living, but none of my clients wanted it on discs anymore for maybe the last 10 years. And so ignorant me is thinking, I'm just going to crack open DVD Studio Pro and Adobe Encore and it's going to be easy. And it ain't easy. Like the entire game has changed. It is horrible now. So I suffered through that for several weeks and I spent a ton of money. I bought my first PC since I worked at a video production company in 2004. Wow. For the first time in 20 years, I'm working on a PC for you guys. So anyway, it's done. And I'm very excited that that's done. So
when you sell those and you sell the cards, Carson, will you be are you cash only? Have you got a credit card machine or PayPal?
Oh no, I've got a little Square cash credit machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I can swipe, I can do mag stripe, and I think I can do wireless with that new machine.
I asked you the same question on Facebook Messenger that you haven't seen yet, but just ignore that since I've already asked you here. So
okay. I'll show the Square printer that I got with you. It's awesome. It actually takes a little roll of paper and it gives you a print receipt, and it's still pretty portable. Like you can carry it on your waist on the little belt attachment. So it's pretty great. Yeah, and then Trav's just queuing it up, man. So awesome. Trav, pull that down real quick and look at my camera real quick. Before we look at that, I wanted to show these. So this is what we did last year. So this is what you call final line art. So this is the last representation of the figure before we move into color studies and presentation artwork and all that stuff. So usually line art is pretty flat, right? It's to give you an idea of what the character looks like and what their accessories look like, but it's not like, see how flat that one is, right? It's so you can see the character and the design, but it's not like sales. Okay. And then on the other side of it was the packaging layout. Before I gave these to Ed Morrill, and then Ed Morrill would figure out what, like with a sketch, how he wanted to fill that negative space. So last year, long story short, was final line art, right? And then package line art. And these were on like matte finish cards because it's more like rough and raw. This is pre-production, right? But so since the pre-production is over and we've moved into final presentation art and package paintings and all that good stuff, I wanted to do same format that we did last year. So it's 20 cards in a case with a number on it, right? And it's still got a full color sticker on the front and the back. But these are glossy and they smell so good, man. There's nothing like the ink on a fresh set of trading cards. They really do smell good.
Oh, nice and shiny.
The old baseball cards or hockey cards back in the day. So
these are fantastic. So what this is presentation artwork. Look at this presentation artwork from Mark Pennington.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mark Pennington is killing it. And so what you do with presentation artwork is you put the character in a scene with their accessories and everything. And Ron Rudat, you'll notice some of the line art that Ron did ended up being the same layout that he chose for the presentation artwork, but it's an entirely new rendering with more detail and obviously a lot of color. So yeah, these are just fantastic. This is called presentation artwork, and they would show this back in the day to management to get final approval. Look at Tank. I love that freaking turtle.
Pick a card, any card. Pick a card, any card.
Yeah. So anyway, they would use this back in the day. Look at the background on that.
Oh yeah, that's
Isn't that amazing? The way he used the markers to make the water.
Really nice.
Just beautiful. Something else you might notice on this branding right here. So we haven't talked about this publicly yet. Who are
exclusive?
Who are the operatives that are the team that makes up Operation Recall? Here's a spoiler alert: Operation Recall is not the team. We've got a team, and then we've got a new emerging enemy that is a very sizable threat to the team. And so this is the branding for that team, right? And you've already seen the skull that ends up on General Mortafaro. And Mizumu Corps, the Jungle Troopers, their face mask is the same split skull logo. It's on a few of the bad guys. So anyway, we've also got branding for the good guys. See the little A there with the eagle and the globe?
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Oh, that's sick.
We're going to tell you all about these guys. Who are they? What happened? So Operation Recall is still relevant. Man, I just want to spoil it right now, but I'm really going to hold it for the panel. So anybody that's curious... Anybody that's curious in hearing the story behind Operation Recall, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, what pits them against each other, come to that panel. We've written 8 issues, and we have the story arc. And I've been working with Ron Rudat the last couple of weeks to lock down the branding so we could finish it up and get on these cards. Like, look at that presentation artwork for Mizumu Corps. Those are the Jungle Troopers. This is by Mark.
Exciting.
It's by Mark Pennington.
Mark Pennington. Yeah.
So see that skull on his mask again?
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
that's been appearing on several characters. That's on General Mortefero. It's on Damselfly. It's on the Mizumu Core, who you're looking at now. So yeah, we're gonna be revealing all of that stuff to you guys. Look at this.
Nice.
Grounds are in Luna. Don't they look great?
I like that.
Yeah, so don't miss the panel. If you're going to JoeFest,
Yeah.
go check out the panel. Your
That's all of them.
panel's going to be at 2:00 on Saturday, and you
Mhm.
got Douglas Hart,
Yep.
right? You got Joe Goldston,
Yep.
Mark Gerwig, and Mark Pennington.
That's right. So, and then just before that is going to be the art of Doug Hart, which I don't know if you guys know this about Doug Hart. He worked for Hasbro from 1984 to 1999. So for 15 years, he produced beautiful package artwork for Hasbro. He touched all kinds of brands, starting with My Little Pony and Cabbage Patch, stuff. Moving into G.I. Joe in 1986 is what we discovered when we sat down and did our long interview. And he worked on G.I. Joe stuff all the way up through 99, working on some of the 12-inch packaging. He is now working on RoboSkull. He did the retro figures for Ben Conway. He's doing all of Longbow's stuff, which is 11 packages, and he's doing all 19 of the Operation Recall packages. So Doug Hart is like having a revitalization here in toy packaging. I mean, he's done, add that up, that's like 30, well, it's like 25 packages, right? He's been busy. And so we'll be showing, I've got 9 of his paintings ready for recall. I'll be sharing those. I believe Longbow is going to have all 11 of his paintings there. So you can, I think Longbow is going to have prints of his that you can buy and get him to sign. I'm sure he'd be happy to do commissions for you guys as well. But his panel is at 1:00, right? Is that right, Trav?
Yeah,
Okay.
right before yours. Yours is at 2. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And then the recall panel will be immediately after that. And my plan for that panel is to kind of catch you guys up on everything we've been doing. But then we're also going to talk about that 8-issue story arc. We're going to spoil all kinds of stuff. And in true Operation Recall fashion, we're going to gather feedback from you. And if we feel like there's something we need to course correct, there's still time to course correct. So
you're saying Doug Hart's available for hire? That's what you're saying for independent toy companies? Am I hearing that correctly?
Doug Hart would be happy to work with you, Ken. I'm sure he would. Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously.
I was trying to be passive aggressive, but you went straight to the source.
No. We can talk offline about payment and that kind of thing. Doug Hart is more than happy to be doing toy packaging, and he had a true love for it. And when he left Hasbro in 1999, I don't think he's done toy packaging since. He's done a ton of other stuff. It's not like he quit painting, but he missed it. And so when we got together and did Rotello, that was supposed to just be a one-off deal. It was going to be a chapter in my book, right? When we got done with it, he was sad. Like he literally, I went up and did the interview with him and got the painting the same day. And so I was asking him about the painting that day. And when you watch this Digipack, you'll see the very end of the Digipack interview. He's like, I just love it so much. He's like, I just wish you could keep it going, but you can't. So you move on and do something else. And I'm like, oh, it's like pulling at the heartstrings. This guy's a freaking legend, and he should be making awesome package art for toys. And so, between Troy with Longbow and Ben on RoboSkull and me on Recall, like we've been keeping him busy, and I'm really proud of that, man. I really am.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So basically what we got going on right now, we talked about Classified taking over, but then also Ed, you got to be thrilled. You even I think you told Punk in your interview that the building shakes when the doors open because everyone's running to the wall that actually has the 4-inch figs, the 1/18 scale. So you got to be thrilled to have a couple of guys like this that are still steamrolling ahead with the 1/18.
Yeah, we've actually got Pawtucket Platoon we just added last minute, so they're going to have the 12-inch figures represented there. Cool. I wish they would have. I wish I could get more of those guys out here because I really enjoy the 12-inch figures, but I know it's a different time for a lot of people and they don't want to invest in it. I get it, but to me that's classics right there. You got to have that stuff. So, but we're gonna have every generation represented. So.
And part of that new generation. And Carson, you unboxed Delta 17s with a perfect segue to Toy Kennections and Ken and what he's doing as manager. But before we go to Ken, did you just sort of talk about these figures for a minute, and then we'll go to Ken and he can kind of take over from there?
Yeah, so you know me, man. I'm gonna support people that I think are doing things for the right reasons and doing them the right way. And so, as soon as that line dropped, I looked at him, and said, okay, I'm all in, let's go. So this is not I don't do paid promotions, and people don't send me things and I talk about them. That does not happen. So what happened here was, I got interested in the line. Ken actually did mail me a sample, and I opened it and I was like, yeah, this shit's pretty tight. so then I bought the whole set, right? And
Yes.
I didn't even talk about, the figure that Ken sent me, because I'm like ethically against that. You know what I mean? So as soon as I got the first figure, though, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm going in. And so I went in, I got the whole line. Ken, what does the whole line cost? Is it $200, $250?
I mean, it's $25 a figure,
Okay,
right?
and
So
it's
then
11 or 12 figures.
It's 12 figures, but if you buy
Yep.
6 or more, you get 10% off of your order, as long as you punch the code in correctly. And I know some people have forgotten to punch the code in, and we try to adjust or compensate them after the fact, or the email us and we're like, okay, well, we'll send you another figure, right? And the thing about Delta 17 is I didn't want to be too assuming, right? Like, I took the time to, for example, like, as Toy Kennections separate from Delta 17, which I'm working on with the main partner Steve, I interviewed Carson for Operation Recall. I sat on a lot of call sign longbow type of streams. We didn't really pump Delta 17 because there was no Kickstarter, we didn't get the benefit of that upfront promotion. Right. So we kind of like backloaded all of our advertising for it. And then we started just about 2 months before JoeFest, we started posting everything on social media. And then we get to JoeFest and it's just sort of like no one was really expecting to see us. So Steve had made all that amazing, like, orange colored artwork and all the background banners and everything. And people were kind of like stopping by. And I'd see this guy like fascinated by what we're doing. I only see him from the back. So I'm just like, hi, I'm Ken. And he'd be like, hi, I'm Corey Cantaloupe.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, oh, you're Corey. He's just like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but this is really cool, right? And I'll never forget, Carson may forget this moment, but you were so rushed for your panel last year, right?
Yeah.
And this was a typical reaction we got from a lot of people last year, but I remember Carson because he was really rushed for his panel. And he's like, hey, I'll catch up with you, Ken, in a bit. And he's like 5 steps past our booth, and he turns around and he's like, wait a second. He kind of stops and looks. He hadn't really smoked this stuff before. It's like, I'm totally late for my panel, but I kind of want to look at this right now. Oh my God, I gotta come back here and look later on.
Right.
I just wasted 30 seconds that I need to be prepping my panel. But like, we got a lot of that kind of reaction last year because we didn't really do a lot of upfront promotion. We sort of like backloaded the promotion because we didn't have that upfront marketing, right?
Right.
When the stuff eventually came out, which was, I guess, just in April of this year, there's been a lot of positive feedback, and people are just sort of like, wow, we got the swivel wrists and everything. Is this what we can expect from the other O-ring lines? And of course, I talk with Carson relatively often. I talk with Troy, Ben, everyone, Matt LaCroix relatively often, and we all kind of work in synergy, right? And we all kind of tell each other, like, if somebody wants to like buy parts of each line and kind of like headcanon everything into their Joe line. Like, the number of people who've told me that they want to buy the Russian figures, like, here's an FEP sample of Death Sparrow, for example, one of the pre-production samples. Everyone tells me that she's somebody that they want in their October Guard or as an October Guard enemy or something. And I'm just like, okay, go for it. Like, whether you follow our storyline or not, if that's what you want to combine them with some of the longbow characters, great. And I'll get to that exclusive in a second here. But as far as the storyline is concerned, our comic is going to make a debut at JoeFest. Like, issue number 1, we have just finished all the edits and everything. It's with the publisher right now.
Congrats.
Steve is going to pick them up on Monday. He drives out for JoeFest on Tuesday. And you got to understand how much of a pain the paperwork is to get from Canada to the US with tax numbers, brokering stuff. Like, Ed knows. I was just pestering him yesterday about, like, what can I do here and there, but eventually we got to the finish line on that. So Steve crosses the border with all of our stuff Tuesday morning, and he'll make the 2-day drive or 1.5-day drive to JoeFest. He'll get there for Thursday. Our exclusive, which is the Okami Elite Sentry, just arrived. Like, yeah, there you go. The red troop builder there that's next to Shadow Dragon. Thank you for pulling that up, Travis. The shipment just arrived yesterday. So we've got a whole bunch of them coming to JoeFest next week. A lot of people have said that they think that it looks really good with the Skeletron figures. So a lot of people are just going to naturally headcanon them as part of the Red Shadows. We're like, sure, no worries. That's our elite guard. And I'm just trying to find the original artwork as I can for him, so you can pull me up on full screen here in a second. But that was actually our initial color scheme that we were going to have for that particular character. So yeah, if you look, I'm just going to cover up the bottom here, but like if you look right here, this is from 4 years ago. This was actually the original color scheme for him, and you can see how some of the color schemes have evolved for Delta 17. Yeah, sorry, someone have a question? Oh, sorry, I thought I heard somebody say something.
Ken, it wasn't me, but I'm just going to jump in now that there's a chance to. Those things are freaking.
You're welcome, Baldy.
Those things are badass, man.
I know. I was like, oh, I'm like, sweet. And then Ken said,
So
okay,
I'm glad you guys jumped in, because I wanted to go to Toy Kind of Mood for a second before we jump back into you, Ken. I want to ask you guys, I know Tony also did a 6-inch version of Delta Force with his custom here. Just talk about that experience real quick, about your 112 version of what Delta's doing.
Oh yeah, I looked at them all online, his website, the store, and I'm like, damn, these are awesome. And I'm so sorry, Ken, I didn't get any of the figures yet, but I looked at all the artwork and all the Ken, he always tells me that, and I said I have what I need to make these dudes. In my fodder box, I think I've got what I need to make one. Let me see if I can mess around and I kind of shot it out to Ken as an idea. I'm like, hey, would you guys, because I want to get a little bit of blessing and stuff before you mess with somebody's IP. And I'm just kind of
Tony, you just get in there and do it, man. You're a freaking talent. Anybody that's making an IP is lucky to have you making customs of their IP, man. That's my
Absolutely.
I can make something with it, with a shepherd. Yeah, I got the skull, the helmet. I've got a lot of that stuff, and I'm like, damn, he'd be really fun to make. And I threw him in with Snake Eyes and Lowlight in this pick, and he fits right in there as a 6-inch figure, man. So next up, I'm working on Preacher right now as we speak. So he's next.
That's awesome. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm trying to convince Steve to do 112 scale Delta 17 as much as he can, but he's just like, I'm just focused on other stuff right now. Do we really want to circle back to 112? And as soon as you sent me this, I send it to him. I'm like, this is my business case for 112 Delta 17, because as much as I like to pump the brand and kind of working as the ad hoc marketing manager right now for it, Steve is kind of like the 95% owner, right? So I'm just kind of like, I got to twist his arm every single time. But we got a lot lined up for JoeFest, right? As soon as I saw the floor plan, and if you want to know where we are going to be, I don't know how this worked out. I'd like to think Ed was being generous, but it may have just been a coincidence. We're next to Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, nice.
This year, so you come in, Sarge's in the middle, we're to the left. So as soon as we found that out 5 months ago, I'm like, so Steve, I got good news and bad news. He's like, so what's the bad news? I'm like, pressure, big time pressure that we're gonna put on ourselves. What's the good news? We're next to Sarge. He's like, okay, so that original color scheme for Okami, that's now the exclusive. I'm like, okay, contact the factory, make sure they can do it through Chinese New Year. And they got on it right after Chinese New Year. The comic, so between that being the JoeFest exclusive, the comic debuting at JoeFest, though the digital version might be available a day before, but the physical printed version will be debuting at JoeFest. We will also reveal our Wave 1.5 figure at JoeFest that no one's really seen yet. So we got basically 3 things going on at JoeFest there. So that's what happens when Ed puts the pressure on us, even if he wasn't meaning to. We sort of just jump through. We sort of just create the hoops to jump through for ourselves in order to get there, right?
That's what you got to do. I got to ask Baldy. So you keep in your reviews, just like Punk, you showed your old O-ring. Are any of these figures between Operation Recall and Delta 17 and some of the others we've seen? Is this swaying you back into that, either O-ring or 118 as well?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I don't think I've ever hung out with Ken before, whether it's been virtual or not. But dude, you got some spunk. I like your attitude, buddy.
I have known and watched Toy Kind of Move before and been like, I think Baldy's the one I've never actually talked to before, right? I talk, but I mean, I always get a bit nervous because the first time I talked to Bobby Bear, I completely botched his name. I think I called him Sir
You get it
Robert
wrong.
Beck
I've known him
Surrey.
for 10 years. I still get it wrong. I think I asked him the other day. I was like, how do you pronounce it? I'm like, I've only known you since like 2010.
So when I called him, yeah, go ahead.
And I'm glad you said something because I thought it was pronounced booby. But it's Bob. Okay, so now I always get stuff wrong. So, Travis, you asked me about would it bring me back to 6-inch. So sometimes I think like
to a 118
sorry.
or 3 3/4 or 4-inch, yeah.
Yeah, but you all saw that I drank a little bit of this.
That's okay. So did I. Don't worry about it.
But sometimes I think it's almost sacrilegious to go and add something to your original line, right? But the way you guys just presented that, Ken, and the things I've seen, if you do it right, there's one brand right now that's doing it killer that nobody's talking about is that McFarlane Superpowers. It's a true continuation of the superpowers we had as kids. You know what I mean? It feels just natural. The pictures you just showed feel like a natural continuation of G.I. Joe. Instead of rehashing what we've already got in the past, retro line.
And there's the gridiron thrown with it. How does that look with
That
Shadow
looks
Dragon?
Really nice, but that feels like a modern continuation. It feels natural. So I'm excited to see what you guys have, and these are badass, dude. You guys should be very proud of what you got put together.
You really
appreciate that.
You got to put your hands on them, man. You got to, bend the joints and just start to play with them, man. And I think you'll be convinced. O-ring doesn't have to be dead, right? It's something that we hold, in high regard, that made our childhoods amazing and that kind of thing. And 6 inch is awesome. I'm buying all the classified. But O-ring as a form factor, there's something very charming about it, and something very perfect about it. Where you still have to kind of imagine and fill in the gaps in terms of level of detail. Whereas with 6 inch, the detail's there, and so there's no imagination. Imagination can't salvage a bad 6 inch figure.
Right.
When you look at Lieutenant Falcon's face, you're like, that's freaking ugly, right? and your mind is not going to correct it.
I fixed that for you.
Thank you. But
so did Ray.
My point about 6 inch though,
I had fixed it myself.
That's what he needs. That's what he needs. And I was like, geez, man, if they're gonna do a Night Force version of him, please give us an alternate head sculpt, just please. But but my point was, there's still something about O-ring where your imagination still gets to play a role that I think is lost with 6 inch.
Well, the last time we talked on the phone,
yes, and in terms of vehicles and play sets and all that good stuff, you're not gonna get a fraction of what you could get with this scale.
Exactly.
I believe they're already working on. Ken, you've already announced your vehicle, correct?
Yeah, it might fly, and it might be a helicopter of some sorts, but yeah,
exactly. And it might be something that fits the Russian theme that we've wanted
a little bit. Yeah, it'll be
so they're already working on some vehicle, world building. My friend Greg already built the Marv, which is fantastic. It's anybody that's collecting 3 3/4 that hasn't checked out Marv, modular armored range vehicle. This thing's been out there for 1.5 to 2 years, and it's awesome. Like, it's really good quality. So if people like us can make vehicles, that's what tells you, that's the strength of 118, is that we can get a home equity line of credit, spend $150,000 and make a vehicle mold, right? You're not going to need a multi-billion dollar company to build all your vehicles for you. So there's still something to be said for 118. Before we move on entirely, I did want to show you guys what we'll be bringing is the 2-ups. And so these are resins. These are copies, right? But so these are hand sculpted by Bill Merkline and Mike Good. And this is our Navy CB guy.
Love it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And so you can see the level of detail.
That is so cool.
Guy.
That's also, a CB?
Yeah, he's a Navy CB. Yep.
Nice. My grandfather was a CB.
Dope.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's
Awesome.
the first time that he's made an appearance in 3 3/4. This is our wrestler, Soul Eagle Guerrero.
Soul Eagle, yeah.
Oh, my
The one
favorite. My favorite.
by
Shout
Dave,
out to David.
Dave, yeah.
There you go.
Dave E.
There you go. You can see the threading along the back. The lighting's a
He
little
usually
bright.
watches the show, but maybe we're going too early for him. He usually
Yeah.
checks in every time.
You'll have to come by the booth and see these. And then there's a hand sculpted full
Definitely.
figure. And this was sculpted by Bill Merkline, who sculpted 70 of the G.I. Joes back in the day.
And he's
So-
yoked up.
So these absolutely
Oh,
should feel consistent
He's
with the
yoked.
G.I. Joes that were made in the 80s and 90s
Yeah.
because they're
Oh,
made
yeah.
by the same people, right?
Yes.
Like
Awesome.
the design came from Ron Rudat for that one, and the
That's cool.
sculpture by Bill Merkline,
Mm-hmm.
package painting by Doug Hart. So our goal with this line was to make it pick up where Mark Pennington and Ron Rudat left off around 1989, 1990, because these are a little more detailed than the early 80s Joes, and that's
Sure.
exactly where we want them to be. And, to Ken's point, we're all doing wrist articulation. So
Yeah.
longbow, recall, everybody
So-
that's got stuff coming down the line, I think if they're not doing wrist articulation, they're going to really be missing the boat because that's kind of the standard now.
And you know the really cool thing that I just want to jump in and say is that one thing me and Carson had talked about on the phone not long ago was that as you get into the later years of G.I. Joe, you start getting a lot of waves that have 40, 50, 60 figures
Yeah.
per year, right? So like between all the independent lines, if you buy several figures or all the figures from all the lines, that's kind of like buying a wave of G.I. Joe in 1991 or whatever it is,
Mhm.
right? So you
I
buy all
love-
19
I
recall
love this
figures.
plan. Ken and I have talked about it informally. I don't think we've ever been on a podcast and publicly talked about it, but I think Troy, me, Ken, Ben I don't know how many Ben's going to do for Robo Skull. I think he'll probably go more in the 6-inch direction. They're obviously producing
yeah.
more 6-inch right out of the gate.
We want
also-
Gyrewolf.
They're also producing a 4-inch highly articulate,
Yes.
which matches the G.I. Joes of 2007 to 2018. So, they're producing at 3 different kind of form factors. So we'll see what RoboSkull has in the pipeline. But I think, we're very committed to O-Ring. Ken is very committed to O-Ring. Troy is very committed to O-Ring. And I think what Ken and I were talking about was it would be amazing if we all coordinated and tried to wave these things out so we're not hitting the community at the same time with new releases. And so far, everybody's been really collegial and cool. And so, I'm committed to do that. I think, we'll just see how it plays out.
That sounds like me coordinating with Punk and Chris, who go live every single day talking about G.I. Joe with their enormous fan bases. I'm like, can you let the little tiny kind of mood channel that could
Tiny
have like 3 hours to talk JoeFest? So you don't have to do a
Easy there.
news flash on something you found at a Chinese factory. Like, can I talk to some people with an audience for once? So yeah, that reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Do that baby voice.
It's funny that you say that. It's about playing well together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
That's what
believe
we-
all ships can rise together.
Yeah.
And you're right. We did stagger the releases in such a way because Strike Force Alpha released just before the new year, right? And then around February is when Skeletron dropped their stuff. We dropped our stuff around April, and then we're gonna have another like wave 1.5, but just one key figure drop in the fall. And Longbow should be shortly after that, and Recall should be shortly after that. Like that's kind of how it's just sort of worked out. We didn't plan it that way, but when we talked, we're like, it's kind of nice how it worked out, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we should take
It's like
efforts to try to keep it going that way.
It's like
you
an
know?
unspoken
Gentleman's agreement.
yeah, it's like an unspoken agreement, relationship, and you're doing fan service by doing that, and you're allowing each other to kind of compete. I will
Yes.
say though, you guys better. I play with my toys, so if I get a hand on these things, I'm going to be playing with them.
Mhm.
I advise you to razor the card back to preserve Doug Hart's beautiful artwork. Okay, that's
Oh, I love
and then
artwork,
dig in and enjoy.
I screwed up and I didn't do that on my Skeletron review, so I paid for it later.
Yeah,
Tore into it.
Yeah, I
Let's
basically
shift-
did. I felt terrible.
Let's shift gears and pull back a little bit. We have
Sure.
about 25, 30 minutes to hang out, and I love where we're going. We kind of covered the main points, but there's a couple panels. We got Ed, he's been patiently hanging in the cut, having
Thank
a
you,
good time.
Ed.
But I want to bring head back to the focal point here for a little bit, and we'll finish up with toys. We got a couple panels and guests, of course. Shout out to Call Sign Longbow. They're going to be there too, right? Or are they at DFW?
Yep. They're at both, actually. Yeah, Troy. Yeah. I believe Troy is coming to JoeFest. Is that right, Ed? And then,
okay.
And then John's going to Texas. Yeah.
Yep. John Kukovic.
John Kukovic is going to be okay. Yeah. Because he was on What's on Joe Mind this past week. I was like out of town, but doing something. But I'll have to check it out.
I want something from John, but he's not going to be there. So.
Oh yeah.
He's selling something, and I'm like, you can bring it to JoeFest. Anyway, we got
a couple friends here. Ed, you want to just talk about Josh Blaylock being there, and then the after action report? We got Josh Ega being there, and then they got the history of number 21, A Real American Hero. That book is on sale there live, and then if you backed it, you can just pick it up at JoeFest if you're going to be there. So if you want to talk about a couple of these guests.
Yeah, Josh is going to be doing a panel with several other people too, and Josh is huge into G.I. Joe. I really wasn't aware until last year how much, yeah, he's really into it. So he's a great addition to the show. He's being brought in by the After Action Report, so we're thankful for that, and we're glad to have Josh back on board.
He's a great guy. I listened to his panel last year. He's like super engaging, very humble. And I mean, the dude rebooted the G.I. Joe comic, man. Like without Blaylock pitching and landing that and bringing the G.I. Joe comics back into print, who knows if IDW would have, felt compelled to go after
the Devil's Due run is so underrated with how he handles some of the characters. I know IDW is pretty good as a long-term read, but if you want like a 43 issue self-contained read plus the America's Elite after, Josh did amazing with that.
Yeah. Right. Well, take it series by series, right? Some of the stuff from IDW is amazing, like Cobra, series 1, series 2, and they made the Cobra
Chuckles.
The Last Laugh. Yeah, what Chuckles ended up, what the twins made Chuckle do. Fantastic, right? But then there's some, they called it seasons. There's some seasons of IDW that's not that strong. So you just have to take it book by book, mainly author by author. So
and then we also have Robert Atkins there and Marauder Gunrunners as well. Now they're Marauder Task Force. Mauler Man.
Yep.
Robert Atkins is like the biggest Joe fan on the planet that I know. Man, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. So
such a talent too, man.
Yeah, he really is. He's such a nice guy and so approachable, and he's just a great addition to the show.
Can I tell my fanboy story about Robert Atkins?
Sure.
Oh yeah, please.
So in 2012, my friend Joe Goldston knew Robert, and I didn't know Robert. I was a fanboy of Robert's. I was reading his Snake Eyes book at the time, and he had been drawing the G.I. Joe book before that. And so we went to Indianapolis, and it just so worked out that me and Robert ended up sharing a booth, and I had like my very first like couple 3DJoes posters or whatever, and Robert had his awesome banners and everything. And so we're in the booth together the whole weekend, and then it comes time for the screening of Retaliation. I don't know if y'all remember that, but they screened Retaliation at JoeCon. And so since I was in the booth with Robert, I totally like buddied on with him and went to the movies with him. So I'm sitting at Retaliation watching, like the badass Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow battle they had in that film next to the dude that was drawing the Snake Eyes comic that I've been reading for many months. It was such a fanboy moment, man. I've had a lot of
We
those.
all need that. Well, that's what keeps us young. Right?
That's what the shows are all about too, man. You guys come to these shows, like you never know who you're going to end up shoulder to shoulder with and strike and spark up friendships with. I ended up doing a podcast later with Robert because we kind of laid the seeds for a friendship there. So just come to the shows, man, meet everybody,
Looks like we have a question from Eddie. He says, where can we get Strike Force Alpha?
Strike Force Alpha. You have to say it like that.
Strike Force Alpha. There you go.
Isn't it just the White Elephant Toys website?
Like you literally just have to read it. Where can we get Strike Force Alpha?
Well, they'll have it at JoeFest. Matthew LaCroix will be there, and they'll have a large setup. So
nice.
There you go.
All right, I actually know Eddie. So Eddie, if you need me to pick you up, let me know.
Man,
I actually know that guy.
I actually know that guy.
For the record, come get your books too, please, people.
Yes, come get them.
I've got 2,500 sets of these left. Okay, I need you to come get yours at
Oh my
JoeFest.
gosh.
You'll-
That's like my freaking
Bring
I
it on the
love that
plane.
damn thing.
Read it
Carson.
on
Do you
the
have
plane.
any idea what a content creator's dream books like this and Dan Klingensmith's books are?
I appreciate it.
I'm
We're giving you plenty to talk about. Just in my book, there's 75,000 words in there.
Well, yeah, like I was trying to do the Battle Corps Rangers video, and I'm sitting there, I'm flipping through, I'm like, oh, there's Star Brigade replicators, that was going to come out as part of Star Brigade. There's the unreleased Star Brigade stuff. There's the Ninja Commandos, and I'm just like, oh my god, there's all this unreleased stuff, and then all the behind the scenes stuff, and all these theories that G.I. Joe was dying in the 90s, but like Carson has some text there that said, well, it kind of went down in 89, 90, but then it kind of came back up. And then they mysteriously ended the line, and we don't know why. Maybe it was because of Power of the Force 2. I'm like, I had no idea.
Well, we know why. We know why. It was internal sabotage. It's subterfuge. Hasbro had bought Kenner, and they had acquired several companies, and there was internal political infighting. When Hasbro started Star Brigade in 1993 to blunt the attack of the upcoming Star Wars line that had been talked about, Kenner would have been the ones launching Star Wars. Kenner was owned by Hasbro at that point. It's all infighting. It's all infighting. The Pawtucket team was doing their best to combat the Cincinnati team, and they're working for the same company. So there's a lot of political subterfuge there. But what happened, in my view, looking at wide angle after editing all these videos and doing that book and everything, my long view is Hasbro, they were making 186 million, I believe, in 1986, high water mark, right? 1990 was the low water mark, and I believe they made 80 something million, right? Or lower. When Kirk Bazzigian came back as vice president of Boys Toys in 1990, he was there to right the ship. And the way they course corrected for the brand was they started the cartoon up again. They had the Deke. Of course, it had to be a cheaper cartoon, and standards had changed on television. So to meet the Fed's regulations, it had to be much more fun, less violent, blah, 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 more comical. So not only was it lower budget, it also had to meet new federal standards, which were not very favorable to a military toy. So you had those things working against it. But despite that, they started picking up all these new lines that piggybacked on everything else that was popular in the 90s, right? So if something like Captain Planet came out, then Eco Warriors was right there to fight them on the shelves, right? And so I think that helped keep G.I. Joe relevant, but they were still struggling to get to 100 million. They got to 100 million one time from 90 to 94, and that was in 1992. In 1993, I believe the 12-inch line was actually carrying a big share of the load, making $30 million. So the 3 3/4 was actually still declining in 1993. And so I think it was tough. It was tough to keep demand there when you didn't have awareness for new kids. The cartoon went off the air in 91. It was on full seasons, 90 and 91. And then 92, 93, 94, you had nothing. Very little marketing budget, no TV show. And so they did everything they could to keep it relevant. But so meanwhile, while they're shrinking, that Kenner Cincinnati team has just been in somebody's ear saying, you got to let us do it. We can fix this. We can make it 150 million. We did 500 million with Batman. Well, that's freaking Batman, right? And
the grandfather franchise, right?
Batman had 1989, the movie, and then Batman Returns, and Batman the animated
series. Right. Frank Miller,
anybody
all
could
of
have made
DC.
toys on Batman, and it would have sold 500 million. It wasn't that the Kenner Cincinnati team was better than the Pawtucket team. So anyway, it's fascinating stuff. If you guys are interested, read the book. Obviously, read Dan's books.
Right.
There's a novel that was researched by an author, journalist, called Toy Wars, and you should definitely read that too. There's been some good reporting on this topic, and it's meaty, it's juicy stuff.
It is. So Travis, if you run out of content, this is where you go. Okay. Why I never run out of content: this Pixel Dan's book, Dan Klingensmith's book, all of Mark Malomo's books. Don't run out of things to talk about on the channel because
we're really lucky.
For sure.
We're really lucky that
I don't have time to report other stuff. Right.
We're really lucky that GIJoe is so well documented.
We got plenty. I says, Baldy, you got a question for me? I don't know what that means. What do I hit?
Listen, guys. My son just had a huge baseball win, so I got to disappear for a couple
you got to
minutes.
jump.
Oh, okay,
no, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to go upstairs and congratulate him. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Explain that. Yeah, go be a dad.
Go for it.
Go be
We'll,
a
we'll see
dad.
Baldy at JoeFest anyway next week. So
What's up?
we'll see him next week at JoeFest, won't we?
Oh yeah.
Baldy?
Well, he's
He'll
gonna
be
come back.
We
He's
got,
just gonna go party a little bit.
we got a few. We got some time left. All right, we had a question. I think this is for Carson. Are they stored, your books, in a warehouse or storage garage?
Actually, I hired a company, and this is due to Ben Conway from RoboSkull, and thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
It's a fulfillment company out of New Jersey, yeah, because then Ken picked them up too, and holy man, they're a lifesaver.
They're
They
so
literally
good.
are. They're amazing. So my books got in mid-December. They cleared the ports Christmas week, right? I'm like, great. The week after Christmas, it was a 4-day week because the Christmas holiday ate one of the days. They shipped 4,000 books in 4 days.
Damn.
Wow.
Yep.
They
so
are
production.
that good.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. So once those hit and everybody started sharing it on Facebook, because I pre-sold about 4,000 copies. Once those hit and everybody started sharing them all at the same time, there was just this crazy momentum. We ended up selling 1,700 books in 2 months. And if I would have been dealing with fulfillment at home, that never would have happened. It would have taken me 2 months to get those 4,000 out, and I would have been miserable doing it. So the company name's Fulfill Right.
Fulfill
For
Right.
anybody out there that's looking for fulfillment for their Kickstarters, their toy lines, their books, their whatever,
Mhm.
Fulfill Right has done right by me, and obviously Ken done right by
Mhm.
Ken as well. So
Saul over at Fulfill Right is the man.
Oh,
And
okay.
We got the same rep.
We got
not
the
just
same project
company.
manager.
You
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
have the same project manager because Ben basically tried to get all his friends kind of like, hey,
Yep.
I know I'm already using this person. I kind of want to share the wealth because everyone's going to be buying from the same pool of people. So yeah, he's like, as soon as he said we got Carson on board, we got ourselves on board. Me and Steve were like, let's go, let's head to this fulfillment center.
Well, and
they've been sending
it
all our
helps you
Delta 17 stuff.
negotiate. When you show them that you're bringing a number of people with a number of products in,
Mhm.
that really helps you with your negotiating power. And Ben's a smart businessman,
Oh,
so
the best.
he surveyed a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of
He's up
fulfillment
there.
companies, and
Yeah.
and had a lot of conversations and
I'm
Fulfill Right.
so looking forward to meeting Ben because he wasn't at JoeFest 23.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't at JoeFest 22, so we've not met in
Yeah.
person yet. You know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
great. He's great. No,
Yeah.
they're not my attic, and they wouldn't live up there. Those things, 21 pounds per book. So I've still got.
Yeah.
They only fit 28 books per platform. It's
Oh, per
like
per pallet?
per pallet, 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet tall, and it's only 28 sets. It's
Wow.
crazy. That's how big they are. Well, they have a little gap in the middle. I don't know why. So I guess when things shake, there's like a cardboard thing in the
Yeah.
middle. But
That's why I can't bring that to JoeFest to get you to sign it because it's 21 pounds and it's going to exceed my luggage limit.
well, yeah, you
I
need
taking
to.
that on
carry.
plane.
from-
Hell no.
I'm crossing a damn border, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Ken, you know who else is a smart businessman? Mega J Retro for having both of us on the panel, even though it has that other guy there.
Oh,
But
you were there too? So I got to see you twice on 2 panels in 2 days?
unfortunately,
Yeah, you do, buddy.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
We'll
both
just have
you
to
and
be
Larry
friends.
got to deal with Moody for 2 panels. I don't know how that's going to work, but
That's
it's-
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was just announced today. Ed,
Yeah.
you want to again for these guys jumping in? You said you were kind of fascinated with what Mega J Retro. Good guy. We've had him on a couple times, and both
I
Ken and I will.
I will be meeting him in Charlotte because we're gonna take a car. We're gonna take
Oh,
a
okay.
rental car from Charlotte together down. So
Oh, cool.
he actually did some lettering for our comic, and he's actually the webmaster for Delta 17. Just so you know,
Oh, cool.
Oh
he's
wow.
quite involved.
Yeah, he'll be at the
Yeah.
booth. He'll be at the booth. Mega J,
He'll
right?
be at the booth. Yep. Look for a guy in a
Right.
beard.
Got to introduce me. Got to introduce me.
I will do that
Nice.
for you, Ed. No problem. Right.
So we
And,
got something for you, Ken. But you
Yeah.
you gotta in order to get it, you gotta wear it at the panel though. And it's the
Nice.
Awesome.
JoeFest June
Turned out
T-shirt
good.
that I've got on, but we're gonna give you a couple. We'll give you green and black. I know you said it's probably a size big, but you could wear a hoodie. You could shrink it to death when you get home. But this is the once again we got to
So
shout
good.
out our sponsor here, G.I.JOE.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Go check him out on Etsy, G.I.JOE. He's got some cool
No
stuff
problem.
coming up.
That'll be my shirt this year because last year the shirt I'm wearing right now is actually the one that I got at the Stars Breakfast last year. Funny story about that is I met Ed at the Stars Breakfast last year, and Ed, I don't know if you knew because I was so badly.
Let's see the
hungover.
shirt. Let's see the shirt.
This
Show
is the
us,
shirt
yeah.
you get at the Stars
You
Breakfast.
have that, yeah.
right?
Nice. Pretty
Like,
good.
I had
Yep.
one of the worst splitting headache hangovers of my life. Steve, as the boss of Delta 17, said, if you see Ed, let him know we need a bigger booth next year. So Ed walks in. I'm like about ready to fall over. And I go walk, and I'm like, I walk over to Ed. I don't even know how I did it. I was like, hi, I'm Ken. I'm helping out with the Delta 17 booth. I just wanted to let you know, great show. And we got to do a panel next. We want a bigger booth next year. I don't know how I got the conversation done because I just wanted to fall over and start puking.
You're all burping and hiccuping and everything.
Basically, yeah. So I mean, yeah. So the first time I met Ed, I was worst hangover of my life because I've not been. I don't normally drink that much in my early 40s, but that was
yeah.
You know,
You're
I
gonna get
haven't
another one with all
in
the
about 15 years. So yeah, my memory of meeting Ed, unfortunately, was met with a splitting headache, not due to his own fault or anything like that.
Ken, am I gonna have to bring the saline and give you an IV?
Oh,
Something like that. You know, Scuba Pete's wife brought a bunch of painkillers for me, and that's how I was able to finish the day off.
Yeah, banana bag.
You know, yeah. Meanwhile, I was completely sober when I met Carson on the Friday night. So
I might be interested in that, Tony.
Okay. You got good veins, baby.
So we mentioned Matthew LaCroix. I was going to show you guys one more thing. I got this
please do.
whole case of Paint Masters ready to show at the show,
Nice.
but I don't want to spoil everything, right? So I'm just going to pull one of these guys out because this is one that Mr. LaCroix did the work on, and it just so happens to be that same CB. So give me just a second here.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, so he's a CB, which does, construction engineering type stuff.
Construction battalion.
There you go. So construction battalion, you'd think he would have to come with a wrench, right?
Oh, yes. Dude,
so,
awesome.
So he's got his big red wrench, and that fits up in the top of his backpack. But he's also got, and I think this is a first, man. I haven't seen this done before, a tool roll.
Nice.
Right? Yep. So you got your little tool roll, and then that's going to peg into the back of the backpack right there, and then roll up and kind of tuck behind his back.
Sweet.
And then
That's
you got
badass.
You got our boy Salty Dog, man.
Oh,
right, Ken. Dude, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
awesome.
Look at the face sculpt.
There's a few more dudes in the chat that are CBs. They're family members of CBs, like my grandfather. Yeah.
Nice.
So this was designed by Ron Rudat and sculpted by Mike Good and painted by none other than Matthew LaCroix. So
that's awesome.
Come see these at the booth. We'll have, I believe, 5 paint masters. We've sculpted all 19 figures, so we'll have something at some form. It starts with the sculpt, like the handmade figure, right? And then it goes to the resin copy, which looks like this, and then it goes to the paint master, which looks like this. So awesome. We'll have all 19 figures represented in one form factor or the other.
Beautiful. I think what we're flying. I'm gonna say Tony and Baldy. Do you have any last minute questions for any of the awesome gentlemen we've had on the panel today?
Bro, no, I'm good. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, dude. Finally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Everybody, I was talking to Larry, and we're like, we don't care about getting autographs from nobody. We just want to go meet all our friends, like you guys, all the people we've met and talked to on YouTube and all this media. It's crazy. So
absolutely,
it's surreal. It's surreal finally meeting the people that you've had relationships with online for many years. It really is. Then the first time you see them in person, you're like, oh, what's up, man? It's like you're more tattooed than I thought you were, or you're taller than I thought you were, or whatever.
Right. Did I tell you the story, Carson? I was waiting on the second floor for the elevator, right? That's where you and I met, right? Yep. You were coming up from the first floor. In that exact moment on the Friday night, because the Friday night of the show had ended, I was like, in my mind, that exact moment, like, crap, I haven't met Carson yet. Ding, the elevator opens.
Door opens.
I know, I want to forget you, buddy.
Hey, Ken. You're taller than I thought you were.
See, that's
selfie. Like it was literally in the second I was going, I haven't seen Carson yet. That you showed up. So
there's always that instant reaction of how the person compares to what your perception of them is online. It's fun.
Oh, it's literally you're just like, hey Ken, how's it going?
That's Larry. That's Punk.
Give me a hug. Get in here.
And I'm gonna bring an umbrella.
Punk's a shorty.
That's funny.
Hey, Ed, this is my first ever convention. So
same here.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Ken, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're like the day after we hang out and drink.
Ken's my boy. Yes.
And Carson, I do want to give you kind of a plug, man.
What?
You broke up your Wi-Fi.
My Wi-Fi. How about now?
You want to give me a
mom's
what?
Wi-Fi real quick.
I was like
Uh,
hanging on every word too. It's like, Carson, I really want to give you a.
I want to get.
What does he want to give me?
Carson, I really want to give you
No, wait,
I'm sorry.
that's for Tony. That's for Tony.
a.
No, Carson, I want to give you a plug. The book is what I would call probably the ultimate G.I. Joe collectible. And what I mean by that is that if you're not collecting figures, if you're not collecting this, if you're not collecting that, this is like the one book that kind of gives you everything you want with the nostalgia without diving deep into all the figures and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to thank you as a fanboy and say that that's a really cool gift that you gave to the community.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, Baldy, for saying that.
Well, but between that and 3DJoes, I mean, like Carson, you know this. Like a lot of my own videos, a lot of vehicles I don't have, and between the book and 3DJoes, I just source it all there, and it kind of makes it more complete. Yes, you grab that in a house fire, and then you say, and you look up the, you go, hey kids, start running. You know,
well, and you still to some degree, you still have a complete G.I. Joe collection. You know what I mean? You're running out the door
all the artwork.
Yeah,
right. That's what I was trying to
that.
say. I didn't know I was freezing up.
I appreciate it, Baldy. Yeah, we started that back in 2015, and we didn't really finish it until 2023 with the hardcover. So, to know that it's had a tremendous response, man. I mean, we've sold 5,700 copies or somewhere around that. I mean, that's like how many backers are on the Skybound thing now? Is it 4,500, 5,000, something like that?
Something like that.
In the neighborhood.
So for 3DJoes, like not an image, not a Skybound, to be able to reach 5,700 people already and counting, you guys have y'all gave me the confidence over the 12 years that I've been archiving to just keep pushing as hard as I can, and people like Chad Huckle have gotten shoulder to shoulder with me and helped me push that boulder up that mountain. So thank you to every one of you. Thank you to every one of you that have supported me, given us that fuel in the tank to keep pushing, man. The Kickstarter was incredible. I mean, we raised like $393,000 on it. And it was originally going to be a 450-page book, very similar to the soft covers, but just larger in one hardcover. That thing ended up being 712 pages and much bigger because you guys funded the heck out of it. And we were like, okay, the more money you give us, the better we're going to make it.
You know what I just heard out of that, Carson?
What's
Ken,
that?
I think you're with me, Ken. He's got the first round.
Oh,
wait,
he's got the first round because he's
I'm
got
all
all the
ears.
money.
Watch my wait. Who's got the first round? We got to clarify. Is this Ken or is this me?
Hey, I still
You got all our Carson. You got all our hard-earned money. You guys give me a drink.
I'll tell you what.
And until we sell the exclusive, I don't got squat.
Yeah, that's true, man. Dude, honestly, guys.
And listen, anybody in the chat, send some super chats, and you guys got the first round.
We need we need all the support we can go get. Give us go to 3djoes.com/support, and I promise you all use the money to buy these guys a drink.
I love it. I love it.
Or buy
Ed,
something out of the toy department.
You heard it here
what
first.
was that?
I was saying, or buy something at one of the rare, because there's a lot of stores out there that have a lot of rare toys at JoeFest, right? Like Roma Toy Department. Is it Destro's Toy Den? Is another one, and who's the one in the Carolinas area? Cro-Mag?
Yeah,
Cro-Mag.
Right?
Dreams.
Yeah. So I was like, says I don't know if I got a super chat that was sizable. Not saying that no one send me money. Don't worry about that. I'd just be like, okay, which one do I want this year? Because last year it was like, okay, Argent 7 Glenda, or which sold right away, or Super Cop from Fun School. You know what I mean? I'm just like, which one's it gonna be, kind of thing, right? Because in my local area here, I can find a lot of the 82 to 94 Joes, right? Yes, certain versions of Steel Brigade or Starduster or Listen to Fun Tripwire be hard to find, but the international stuff, you go to JoeFest and you're like, I've never seen this all in one place before. You know what I mean? I'll see 2 figures in someone else's collection, a few in my own collection, but you don't see that many for sale right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, you've got Argent 7 Manla, you've got a boxed, the Z Force HQ out of nowhere. I'm just like, what am I looking at here, right? And then you got all the 12-inch stuff. You're like, oh, I got an Adventure Team Commander, and I'm just like, I'm not used to seeing all of this in one place. It's really overwhelming, and you got to meet everyone on top of that, all the celebrities, all your friends, all the panels. It's just like, like your senses get so overwhelmed, you're like huffing and puffing when you go back to your hotel room. Right, and not because you've run a big race or anything, or because you've been working out.
Unless you're Larry and I running back to the room to review that Fresh Monkey Fiction figure, that might be a race right there.
We'll get on it. We'll get on it, Travis.
Breaking news.
Anyway, hey, look, I want to cut in right here and thank Ed for hanging out with us today and really kind of breaking down what JoeFest was, and we'll throw on some social media, and there's the pamphlet there, the promo, the 21st to the 23rd next week. A lot of us are flying in on Thursday, gearing up for Friday through Sunday. I'll ask you this, Ed, was there anybody we didn't mention that maybe, got overlooked today that you want to shout out that's going to be at the show or anything like that?
Well, I mean, Carson's got Mark Pennington there, and
thank you.
We've been plugging him, but going to do it again here real soon. But that we just added Brian Shearer, which is an artist,
amazing illustrator.
Yeah, and to me, his best work is Transformers, but a lot of people love the GIJoe. I can't think of anybody who draws a robot better than he does. So
it's true, man. He literally just posted some commissions that he was working on for this weekend. And I thought the exact same thing, Ed. You're dead on. His Joe stuff is fantastic, but man, the Transformer stuff, it's the markers that he uses and the color palettes that he uses. It works so well for that shiny, reflective Transformer surface.
Yep. So definitely get a commission or something from him. He's amazing.
Hey Ed, did you talk about the robot chicken guys?
I have not talked about the robot chicken guys.
Aren't they doing a panel?
They are doing a panel.
The freaking robot chicken guys need a name drop here.
Carson, I don't know. Carson, I don't know if you noticed this year, but this year is so much more than last year.
Yeah.
Stacked.
I noticed that. I'm proud of you, man.
It's ridiculously stacked this year.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna raise the stakes, and you went like way up here.
Then you got Savage Crucible and the Mythic Legions and Super 7. And, I mean, it's we're not missing very much. We've already had a large company reach out last night and say, save us space for 2025. We will be there.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm a big fan of
Ed, hell yeah.
I'm a big fan of stop motion animation and Robot Chicken more specifically. So I was thrilled to hear that they're doing a panel.
Yep. Yeah, they work with Matthew LaCroix pretty good on
LaCroix.
Seth Green's going to be there. Yeah, Seth Green's going.
Exactly.
Have you heard about the parachute drop yet?
I only read about it.
Yeah, it finalized last night with Marauders. Nice. They're going to donate 25 exclusive figures to it.
Fantastic.
If you catch one, you keep it, of course, and then they'll have it for sale. And while we're throwing the parachutes over, we're going to be throwing T-shirts over too. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, can I get on Punk's shoulders to catch?
You can.
You still won't reach me. You still won't reach my height.
Well, that'll give me at least get me to 6 feet tall.
Me and Ken will try to reach the top of Carson. So
if Punk's got heels on.
Go.
Yeah. I mean, legally I'm 5'8", but that'll get me right to 6 feet.
You're a little taller than me, so don't worry about it. And I'm a little taller than Punk.
Cool. Well, let me throw this out there, guys. So go follow JoeFest on Instagram. They're on Twitter as well and Facebook. Just search JoeFest, but on Instagram, it's right there. JoeFest _ toy comic, and look up JoeFestUSA.com as well. Check it out. Follow all their social media. Update with guests, whether they can't come last minute or they can come. Like, it's great to see all the updates. He's promoted us a couple times with our panel and us all individually and all that stuff. So that's really cool. And I gotta thank you again, Ed, for first time you didn't even know us really till tonight. You and I have talked on the phone a couple times, but having faith in a toy kind of mood and giving us an awesome panel that we can't wait to have. JoeFest June.
Yeah, I actually hoping we
Thanks
close
so
down
much,
quick
Mark.
enough so I can make it up there and catch it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, it's 90 minutes. Somehow we got the biggest window. I don't know how that happened, but we are a surging channel, so it's it's
It's a
happening.
little hard getting everybody out at 5 o'clock.
Travis.
I
Yeah.
promise you, people don't want to leave. It's like sometimes
Yeah.
I think that we should go half the night, stay open later, but you got to give the vendors a break. But man, it's
Yeah.
trying to get the people out.
And,
For sure.
Ed, I made sure all the restraining orders in Augusta are lifted for me, so I'm good.
Yeah, we should be good on that this year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, before Operation Recall launches, Carson, I'd love to get you back on my channel at some point. Ed, I'll get you on sometime before the JoeFest 2025. We're obviously running out of time for JoeFest 2024, but everyone subscribe to Toy Kind of Mood. Very much surging.
Oh,
It sounds like you just passed 2,000 subs, then you passed 3,000 like within a couple of weeks, and now you're at 3,500.
We
So
passed
you're doing-
3,500. I woke up and was like, huh? So
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. We just love.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm full-time Toy Kind of Mood for this month because the show I work on, the TV show, went on hiatus. Sadly for my bank account, but it's benefiting the YouTube channel because I got nothing else to do but hang out like with you guys and shoot content and work on social media all day, and it seems to be working. So, oh man, dude, thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Jason.
Jason S.
Nice.
Appreciate it. He says, great show, guys. Appreciate the early show this week. 5 whiskeys. Okay, we'll go on
Nice.
early every week from now on if we get $20 from you.
You saw the money. You saw the dollar sign.
You
That
paid,
was
you
awesome,
paid for the
Jason.
time
Thank
slot. Let's do it. No, I appreciate that, Ken. I mean, we look up to you. You just hit 6,000 not too long ago. You're a champion in this Joe community game. So always banging out good videos. But let's show some socials. We got Operation Recall and show. We have Operation Recall and 3DJoes on Instagram. Go follow Carson on both.
Thank you.
Definitely worth your time. He's up we talked about some of these updates.
Beautiful.
So if you're joining us a little later, you could catch them on the IG. You want to talk about that, Carson?
Yeah, so I try to keep the brands distinct. So with 3DJoes, I'm talking about all things a real American hero, and with Operation Recall, I'm talking about all the amazing stuff that I'm doing with the Operation Recall creative team. They're sending me cool stuff, every couple of days. I just went up to Rhode Island, picked up the packet of artwork from Ron Rudat. That's his final packet for year one. And man, I was going to announce this at the panel, but I'll just announce it right now. Ron Rudat and Mark Pennington have both agreed to come back for year two. So assuming that now, I'm not saying I've got money for year two. All right. Don't get me wrong. Now, if I sell the last 2,500 books, we'll go ahead and fund you. No, but anyway, Ron Rudat and Mark Pennington have agreed to come back for year two. And I am actually going to go ahead and start them on their creative process, because that creative process takes so long to go from, starting an idea, brainstorming the figures, final art, presentation art, package, all that stuff. It's a long process, as we've seen throughout the course of Operation Recall. And so please follow Operation Recall for all the really cool updates from those guys as they're working. 3DJoes is, again, a celebration of all things a real American hero. Actually, I appreciate you bringing this up. If you hit that join button, I just put all of the videos that are going to be on the Digipack. I put them on a members only channel here. And the reason I did. And the reason I did that is for the international backers that are not going to want to pay the exorbitant, international shipping costs for the Digipack. I wanted to give them an affordable way to watch that 10 hours worth of content. And so if you hit join right there, it's a subscription. I think it's $7.99 for the month. I don't care. Buy it once and cancel it next month. You can watch all 10 videos. Or excuse me, you can watch all 10 hours worth of content. So that's the new membership thing that I just put up on 3DJoes. I haven't been talking about that too loudly yet, but thank you for pulling that up.
Awesome. Oh, that works out. Let me just answer a question real quick. We got some people are showing up late and they're into what we do. So do we speak about the Dragonfly? Yes. For a good portion of the first hour of the show, the first hour was our JoeJoe June segment as part of our Joe Kind of June. And then JoeFest was the last 2 hours here that we're coming up on. So watch the replay. Oh, side, Tony. Go ahead.
No, I answered McFly in the chat. Look at the next comment.
Right, but that we
Yep.
don't want to get the same comment 50 times, so might as well just tell everyone.
And his reply
but
is
yeah,
equally curt, Tony. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's what DJ McFly's my dude.
that's the comment. The best comment we've got all night. He's like, all right, whatever then.
Okay.
All right, cool. So,
All right, peace.
all right,
He's already clicked off.
There you go. But before you guys click off, let's promote Toy Kennections. Ken, we're going to be hanging out more times than you're going to be thrilled with at JoeFest. So sorry for that news. But on Instagram, you got a couple things going. You want to talk about them real quick?
Yeah, I mean, so the Delta 17 Toys, or the website is delta17toys.com. You can get your figures literally right now. You can even, US and international, you can even get them while we're at JoeFest. Canadian orders will have to wait because Steve will be at JoeFest, so those will get shipped later. But yeah, just follow us on Delta 17 Toys on Instagram or delta17toys.com, and stay tuned because the digital version of the comic will go up within 24 hours of JoeFest happening. And then this is my channel itself. Give me a subscription. I love to talk about toy histories, just toy stuff in general. I leave the news and the reviews to people like Toy Kind of Mood and Punk with Toys, Bees Battlegrounds, those types of places. Baldy Locks. Tony's Figs does more customs than anything else. But I tend to stick to the past and the toy histories and all that. That's why a lot of these books are really great references. You can follow me on Instagram or YouTube, or preferably both.
Yep, and Baldy Locks. Why not? Talk about it.
Hey guys, so I'm super excited. After JoeFest, my mom said that I can make more videos, so I will be pumping out more stuff.
Your internet.
And she also said that I can switch from dial-up. So I'm very excited about that.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
What a promotion.
Yeah, I just got a subscription to Netscape, so I should be good.
Did they give you an email address with that?
Yeah. Do you know that stands for electronic mail? That's awesome.
Still on MySpace.
Cutting edge. Right.
GeoCity is an Angel Fire
on
website.
I'm going to friend you on MySpace, and I want to be in your top 8.
Well, listen, I just uploaded my music list on MySpace, so
ICQ. Talk to me on ICQ.
Whoa.
Deep cut. Messenger.
But all right, we're done with me. Go to Tony.
All right, cool. Yeah, here we go. Tony's Figs. We showcased some of your stuff tonight, but you got some good things going, dude. 16 videos, 710 subscribers. We didn't hit 700 subscribers until we got off freaking Zoom. Started going to
Dude, thank you guys so much. It's awesome.
Crazy pace, Tony. You have to realize that.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, Ken, you had said something in one of our chats that it was up over 700.
It's specifically attracted as everyone but Travis, just so you know, just so he knows. Too.
Right?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm just talking about customs, and there'll be more to come on how I do them, the tools I use to make them, what paints you want to use if you're just starting out, and what to coat them with, and all that good stuff, all the customizing stuff, and a little bit of reviews here and there if I get some stuff in before all these, even after these guys who want to be first so much. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good. I got a lot of good stuff to talk about, and more content's coming for this thing.
Tony, how many of those subscribers are carryovers from your OnlyFans account?
Oh my God, about 95.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
only.
And then, yeah, I guess I'll talk about myself for once. Just kidding. I always do because I love myself. I'm a Leo. Kidding. A Toy Kind of Mood. We just broke 3,500 subscribers. Thank you all who watched tonight. I think we had over 100 at one point tonight, which is pretty damn good. We've stayed a steady 60 to 80. The show is growing. It's crazy. We just celebrated 3,000. We're at 3,500. I'm doing my best to try to reach all toy brands, wrestling, Marvel, Team NT, Mezco. We're really hitting all the toy brands. I think that's really helping us. But best of all, we do GIJoe. I think we do it as good as almost everybody, if not the best. So, we're a Joe channel through and through, and military toy channel, and that's our number one passion. And I think we bring all kind of unique personalities, and we hope to bring that. At JoeFest with our panel, and I'm excited to
to hang out with these guys. You're the best. You know, I have the best team. Like I don't. It's crazy if like something I'm working, I don't have to worry because I got Baldy, I got Tony, I got Bobby, I got KJ. KJ's got his own thing, of course, and that's what we're gonna lead you guys to. I don't know why I'm promoting this because Punk didn't even check in, but I'm still that kind of guy. I'm a classy
Here we go.
I'm a classy professional, so I'm going to promote a Punk with Toys
There you go.
Thursday with a friend, but that's because it's with my good buddy KJ Johnson.
That's only why.
Yeah, the only reason you should go. But no, this will be great. Two of the best guys in the Joe business for sure, toy business for sure. They're enablers, right? They're crazy.
Two
They
awesome
collect
guys.
everything,
Yeah.
they buy everything. Yeah, awesome guys. So I didn't want to conflict with another toy kind of Moodian. So it was Punk interviewing Pixel Dan or something. I'd go against them and whoop their butt. But it's Black Canvas, so we'll make sure. I'm kidding. I'm having.
But by the
I'm
way,
not-
I'm actually Punk's guest
Yeah.
the following week for Thursday with a friend as well. But
Awesome. That's right.
we pre-recorded it because both of us are on the road to JoeFest at that point in time.
Nice.
So that one will just go up as a premiere, not as a live stream. So I wanted to trash talk a Punk with Toys a lot, but then I realized no, I'm up next. So go watch Punk with Toys and KJ right now. In fact, stop listening to me and go there.
Yeah, right now. But yeah, I mean, gotta thank you guys all again. Thanks, Ed, again for giving us the opportunity for JoeFest June right here. These awesome shirts brought to you by Sickalicious, GIJoe on Etsy. Gotta thank Ken for hanging out. We'll see you in a couple panels. And Carson, always royalty, man. GIJoe
Awesome.
community leader. Can't wait to meet
Appreciate
you
you guys.
finally at JoeFest. It's on the top of my
Yes,
list.
all of
So
you.
it's gonna
No
be
doubt.
a grand
Hey,
old
so
time.
since you guys haven't been at JoeFest in the past, just to let you know, I help Ed with AV every year. So if you don't see me at my booth, come see me in the AV room. All right, I'll be helping everybody run their shows. I'm gonna try to get out of the AV room more this year, and I really need to sell some books. So I'm gonna be manning my table a little bit more. But
We
either
have,
find me. I'm gonna have a 3DJoes table and an Operation Recall table. Right. So I'll be manning 3DJoes. Mark Pennington and Doug Hart will be hanging out at the Operation Recall table. And if I'm not there, man, I'm up in the AV room. So
Be safe,
you guys definitely do come see me. All right.
That's just up the stairs in the back, right?
Right. Yep. Same
Okay.
spot this year, right, Ed?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
very easy to get to.
So right
We
in front
have
of
to
the
walk
camera.
upstairs.
There's two sets of stairs that
Elevators.
go up like this.
Yes.
And the panel rooms are right up here, right? So just
Yes.
you'll see two
Elevators too.
staircases,
So.
and there's
Yeah,
elevators
elevators.
right underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a microphone right there where the panels get announced, right? You
Yep.
always hear Carson go, "Yo, Joe's," and you just know it's him,
That's right.
right? Every single
While
time.
you're here, Carson, I'm going to ask you and Ed: is there a screen for a PowerPoint presentation
Oh yeah.
in the panel room?
Absolutely.
I have this
Yes.
Yep. And
So what do I need to bring? An HDMI wire with my laptop and stuff?
I'll have
or-
HDMI hookups. Yep.
You have all that. So
You
I
can
just got to bring
you
my
can
laptop.
bring your laptop and plug it into HDMI. Yep.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I
All
told
right.
you not to
That's all
worry,
we need
Trav.
for-
I told you not to worry.
Cool.
No, it's worth asking.
Awesome.
I appreciate you asking though.
Yeah. And then as far as so I don't want to live stream it because I'm worried. I don't want to worry about technical issues while we're doing
Hotel
this, especially
Wi-Fi.
first time panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as recording it is just maybe setting up a tripod or a ring light or something and just using a phone or
You're
what do you
absolutely
think?
welcome to do whatever you want to do for recording your own panel. I am not bringing my locomotion video stuff because man, I do that all day, every day. And it's like,
Yeah,
I've done
yeah,
that.
sure.
I've done that before. And then post-production takes 5 times as long as production. And it's just, I really need to be selling some books. So I can't be doing video production. I did it in 2018 for the last JoeCon, and I captured 2 really cool panels. And I think that's the last time I've done that because it's so much work on the back end.
And guys, my mom overheard us. We
got
have a 3-month AOL disc that we can bring.
just bring your VHS cassette recorder.
So we
and
can
we'll put that
put
on
that
there.
right
3
now.
months. I got a
We should-
30-hour disc. I don't know how you got upgraded like that.
I don't know where she got it from.
Bring
All
your
right, guys, we
Blackberry.
want people to watch. Oh, what was that, Tony? Sorry.
I said, bring your BlackBerry. That's all you got.
There you go. All right. Bring your Blackberries, bring your AOL disc, and we'll see you on MySpace. But for Trav Moody, it's been a Toy Kind of Mood 174. This was the JoeFest Super Preview. I think it lived up to that. What a great group. For Ed, Ken, Carson, Baldy, Tony, Moody, we're out. Peace. See you in the 12.